Hello and welcome to the Saturday afternoon even, Flory Fest. Hey look, it started already and we're already on show 3. So anyway, it's Saturday afternoon with you. Here we are, 2 o'clock on a balmy 23rd of September 2023. Part 3 of Flory Fest. So yes, how are we doing already, gentlemen? We all good? Still going?
Fine, thank you very much.
I'm absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm good.
And John suddenly hasn't grown hair. And moved about 6,000 miles and gone a couple of 10,000 feet. Was it 10,400 feet up as well? But we are joined. Feet. There you go. By Mr. Brett Marquette, all the way from High Altitude Hobbies over in Colorado in the USA. Good afternoon. What time is it over there, Brett?
7 a.m.
God, no wonder you didn't want to come on this morning. I don't blame you.
That explains it. See, that would have been rough.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, we're 1 degree below freezing right now, so we're not balmy.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's not... yeah, it feels like that here. It's actually, we're 17 degrees outside, but it feels like it's -1 here. It's like, crikey, because it's been quite nice recently, and all of a sudden it's gone cold. Autumn arrived yesterday. So, but anyway, Brett, if you don't know, he owns, or is the owner of... Hold on, let me just get it. There we go. Of... the US distribution side, if you like, of for Flory models as well. Brett's got his own little store down in here. There we go. If I can get it to work, there we go. High Altitude Hobbies. 10,200 feet at the store. So there you go. You get your outlaw paints, all your bits and pieces, and everything down in there like that. So if you want to pop over to him, links down below in here as well. But obviously he does do all the Flory Models products as well, bits and pieces, as you can see down in there, as well as other things. Does a bit of display stuff, AK Interactive, obviously with kits and tools and all things like that. So if you're getting anything, you can pop over to his and you can get them all sorted. And also Brett, of course, is a member of Flory Models as well. So membership, if you want to hit him up, you can find him on the forum. He's usually doing fantastic work with vehicles recently. And stuff like that. And the nice thing is, of course, is Brett is actually a proper hardened modeler. So
I am.
He is. He's a modeler first, then a store owner. So just to put this in, I take it you're obviously, because you've got another store where you are, don't you? Which is, I take it, your bread and butter. And part of your passion is then to put a bit of a hobby stock into it. Is this just so you can get kits at trade?
Yeah, that was the whole plan right there.
That's
yeah,
it.
I own a hardware store.
He doesn't care if you buy anything because he's just got it all at trade and he can get the tax off of it.
That's right.
To be honest, it's the only reason me and Matt do this.
Well, yeah. I own an Ace Hardware, and when I took over, I put a hobby section in it. So I actually have a hobby section inside the hardware store, and the online store is growing, but just ask and I'm sure I've got it somewhere.
Yeah. I think I would say a bit like us as well. It's one of those things. It's time to sort it all out. If you need anything, if you shoot Brett a message, I'm sure you can get it through all your suppliers like we do with ours. So, but that's good job. So how long have you been modelling, Brett?
40 some years.
So there you go. He's probably started when he's 10. So
yeah, 9 or 10. Yep. Late 50s now. So. I never really stopped. I just kept going. It slowed down, but I never really stopped. It's just, I used to manage a Wendy's for 16 years, the busiest Wendy's in the country.
Right.
And after work, I would just need to go model just to get it out of my head, get away from the tourists and everything. So, yep, modeling's always been in my life.
Good,
always will be.
That's it. Absolutely.
And I just shipped my 2000th Flory order yesterday.
So there you go, everyone.
So
congratulations.
It's always nice when you get those milestones. I remember seeing my ones go through, and then obviously the 10,000th order and going through, and it's one of those things. It's like quite milestones when you hit these things. Yeah. So, no, good. Congratulations. Good. Anyway, we'll pop back to you. Oh, go on.
Okay. Well, I got one more thing. These are the only sanders I have left, and I have about 20
the
packs.
sheets. There you go.
That's all. People ask me all the time, what sanders you have. These are all I have left.
Yes. So you're the only person, as far as I know, who's got any out of anyone at all, of any description of them. So, yeah. There we go. So there you go. Grab them, everyone. Just hang them on the wall. Memorabilia. Some people put old notes and things, don't you? Like the old money and stuff like that. There you go. You can put the old Sanders up. Look what we used to have when we were young.
I think Matt's got a starter set, haven't you, somewhere in you?
He has, yeah.
I'm going to put it in here. I've just thought I'm going to hang it in here. I'm going to hang it next to the clock.
Do you know what? I've got a starter set as well. And when I was at a certain Trago Mills the other day, I was going to get a box frame for it, and I was going to put it in and hang it behind me. Little plaque underneath. Flory Sanders from I think it was 2011 to 2022.
break glass in emergency.
Yeah, that's it. In case of emergency, when I run out, it'll be into those ones. So yeah.
I need to just ask a question here about Wendy's.
Yes.
Like what? Because obviously we don't have a Wendy's over here. Is it just like a diner? I presume Wendy's is it?
They're a franchise.
Similar to a fancier McDonald's.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm with you.
They use fresh meat. They do, but it's basically just a fancier McDonald's.
All right, okay.
I'm a big fan of it. Used to be, if I'm correctly thinking, so I haven't been over there for 6 years the last time. Oh no, more than that now. 8 years since I was last over in the US. But when I used to go, we used to always have breakfast at Wendy's, and I think it was called the Lumberjacks Big Breakfast or whatever it was. So it's like stack of pancakes. Don't they do that anymore? Oh, well, I won't come back. That's it now.
But they have a breakfast Baconator sandwich now.
Oh right, okay. So what's that?
I like it.
It's got sausage, egg, 6 slices of bacon, and hollandaise sauce.
Nice.
It's
very tasty.
Our Keith's over in America at the moment, isn't he? And he posted a picture of one of his breakfasts on our chat.
Yeah, our chat, yeah.
It was massive.
No. Definitely.
It lasted you for 3 days.
Ooh. Havert's in from Breveco.
It is, absolutely.
Afternoon.
Breveco's in. Afternoon. Are you all right, guys?
He's finally made it to the chat room.
Yes. It's either that or it's Kareen. It could be either one, don't forget. I'm going to have to set Kareen up with her own one so we know. No, Kareen.
Oh,
it's Kareen.
Hello,
it's Kareen. She's home. So it's Kareen. After this, I'll set Kareen up with her own one because she was in the other day and everyone thought it was Everett. And it's like, no.
I'll just say, Kareen, we need more biscuits. Dutch
yes.
biscuits are great.
Yeah.
Biscuits are gone.
Proper now.
Definitely, yes. We want lots of biscuits. So, but yes. Right, okay. So just before we get going with everything, I'm just going to do the usual obligatory run round everything that we've got going on. All right. So this afternoon, we're going to be doing various demos. Down in here, I'm going to do a little bit more of the wash that you saw this morning. Matt's going to be doing some figure painting. Obviously, we'll be answering your questions and the bits and pieces like that. Over in the store, don't forget, we've got 25% off absolutely everything in the Flory model store. So we've got it obviously off the wash sets, full wash sets, and obviously we've got it off all the thick washes, all the normal washes. We've got it off the pigments, and we've got stuff off the merchandise as well, which is selling out rapidly. Look, I've only got one glue holder left. So, but yes, so anyway, if you want to grab any of these ones, obviously the merch is discounted as well. Why isn't the apron on discount? Apron should be discounted. I'll check that in a minute. But yes, you can go off and you can grab all of those. PM, obviously we've got our new flash sale offers for this afternoon, which are as follows. So down in here, we've got the Apache. So it's £25 off the Apache. So if you want to grab that kit, it's there. This is the Viking kit that I'm actually working on as well. Exactly the one. Because they do another one, don't they? I think it's the CD version or whatever. Yeah, so this is the AB version as well. So this is the one that I'm working on at the moment. We've got the Wessex, which is an absolutely mega kit. That's really, really nice indeed. And then obviously we've got a bit of a special on the Great Wall Hobbies F14B. And you get a free book with it. So again, it's almost 25 quid off, but you do get as well the actual the Airmark Modeller's Manual for the F14. So if you haven't seen these are they're like a paperback type version, although they're very glossy paper and all the rest of it. But it's a modeller's guide, so there's reference ones as well as build along and stuff. I've got some of their other ones down in here, but not actually that particular one. But that's free with this kit. So how much are these worth? About 12 quid, isn't it? 15 quid?
Something like that. Yeah, it's
yes,
the same
like
the Seeking book, isn't it? So
yeah.
So about 12.
So it's the same one. So it's about sort of 12, 13 pound for those ones. So you get that free if you buy this kit under this special offer. All right. So you can grab that one if you want to do that one now. And another one we've got up here with a little bit of a special is the Ryfield models. This is Tiger Hobbies edition with it as well. So you get all the niceties and everything else. And it's obviously got the Ukrainian markings for the Leopard 2. But also with it as well is a free little one. We've got the Ukrainian Crew at Rest. And we're saying he's a chunk, isn't he? Jesus, you're not going to mess with him in a dark alley, are you, Andy? So, and I want to know if you get decals for his tattoos. So, but anyway, so you've got the actual crew set is free if you buy this kit through us today at this special price as well. So that's not a bad price either. 42 quid instead of 52 as well. So a nice little deal on that one if you want to grab that one as well. So that's very, very nice indeed. And a couple of other ones we've got down in here. We've got the Great Wall Hobby Flankers. And again, should be 80 quid. We've got it up at 56 quid. So this is the limited edition Ukrainian Air Force Su-27 flanker with a nice sort of camo and all the bits and pieces with it like that. That was a special edition one that they actually did. So a good price on that one. That's
a massive 30% off.
30%. There we go. 30%. God, it's like QVC this now, isn't it? So that's how I feel.
Free.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're giving them away now. Ryefield models. Obviously, we got the Tiger one late edition now. So again, it's Ryefield models. You know it's going to be gorgeous and lovely and all the rest of it. So we got that one down there as well. Just £36 as well. So good...
that's the Wittmann one.
The Wittmann?
I think it's supposed to be honest. I'm not sure, but I think it is.
Right, okay, fair enough. So we've got that one down in there. And then over here, we've got the actual Sheridan. We've got a blurry photo. What was it? A bloody thumbnail we've taken that from. So, was it 100 by 100 pixels or something? But trust me, the kit's a lot more detailed than the picture. So it's a 2-in-1 kit as well. So obviously you get the different versions of it in that one as well to do it. So you can do it as the M55A1 or the M551 A51115, or you can do it as the A1 TTS. So very nice job in there. And last up we've got, or second from last, we've got the Wild Weasel. Again, nice saving on that one. Look at that. So really nice job. 25 quid off of that one as well for the Phantom. So very, very nice indeed. And then lastly, to go along from one Rhino to another, we've got down in here the Meng Super Bug 2-seater. Got the Foxtrot, which has obviously got the Bounty Hunters markings, which are probably one of the best markings of F-14s, because they used to be in those markings as well. Just saying.
Just a thing, because John's put our steepest shipping cost to the US. If, say John, if you bought like that F-18 there, you're probably looking at about 25 quid from
26 quid, I think. Yeah.
26 quid. If you go any bigger and any heavier, and then you get into sort of courier mode, then you're going to be paying a lot of money, to be honest. Then it gets expensive because of the weight and the size. But normal, what we call a postage box, goes for about 25 quid to the US. So, yeah. So if it's one kit you want, out of any of them deals, it shouldn't be too bad to post it. If it gets any bigger than
Brett, how much do we charge you for postage?
Yeah, it was about 25.
Yeah, about 25.
So that would be, it's about $40 US, 35 to $40 US.
Yeah, like I say, a lot of it is the size and weight, is the crunch of it. And...
Yeah.
Yes. When they changed over to volumetric weight, that's where it went horrendous. Because it's done on size of the box now, not so much how much it actually weighs. So, yeah, that was the killer. Anyway, we got your special offers down in there, and obviously we've got damaged boxes. We've got those books that we spoke about before. They're down in there as well with that Seeking book and all the other ones you can find. We have now sold out of the FAQ box, unfortunately. They have all gone now, so we haven't got any of those. But don't forget, we've got other things going on down in here. So again, we've got, obviously you've got your discounts on various things. So including down in here, we've got the gorgeous Academy A10C. Oh, look, PV Wising.
Yeah, and the little F14 Tomcat.
And the little F14, that's a great little kit as well. That's really, really nice kit.
Some nice Academy stuff. 15%
good stuff with
off.
the Academy ones in there. Yeah, definitely. So 15% off all the Academy stuff and bits and pieces like that. And also don't forget, we've got your staple stuff covered as well. So we've got like your Tamiya kits. Tamiya. Oh, look, we're in sections now. I keep forgetting we're in sections as well. So we've got all your Tamiya, 15% off as well. Although the Swordfish is sold out. So yes. So if you want to grab any of those ones.
Stuff, yeah.
Very nice as well. Some really good stuff down in there. So if you want to grab any of those ones. Lots of Airfix as well. So,
lots of Airfix, lots of Edard, usual stuff. Lots of ICM.
Yeah.
We'll have a peruse round when we're...
Have a peruse round as you're listening to us waffle on.
Hobby Boss A10s are in, and Hurricanes and...
Yeah. Anybody that's interested, I've updated the thumbnail of the Sheridan in special offers.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're right now.
As if by magic.
Yes.
it's not a blurry one anymore.
The
Should we
shopkeeper has
check it?
updated it.
Oh, wrong one. Hold on, that's the wrong one. I'm in the wrong thing. Hold on. Just because I want to prove him right. There we go. There you go. That's better. So now you can see what it is. So, but yes, very nice indeed.
It's a little
So-
tank.
There's just a question for Brett.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
paint spray and act differently at that altitude?
With airbrushing, you got to run a little higher pressure. They dry a little quicker because there's also no humidity up here.
Okay. Yeah.
So we never get above 20% humidity. So, but they dry smoother too because they dry. You're pushing a little pressure and use leveling thinners or rapid thinners. They dry smoother and they dry quicker. Even acrylics dry quicker, which is nice. Enamels still take forever, but
I was going to say that. What about enamels?
Yeah.
Is that different? But yeah. So good job. Anyway, if you do want to pop over to see Brett's store, you can do as well. So just pop over to Altitude Hobbies, and as well you can go there .com. The links are down below as well in the show notes on all the pages, so you can go down and you can see those ones for all of Brett's bits and pieces. Said before, if you don't see it, shoot him a message, and I'm sure he'll be able to oblige with you. If you are in the EU, obviously we've got Flory Fest is going on with Serious Models as well. They are doing 20% off. There we go. All the various bits and pieces down with them as well. So if you just want to pop over, and again, if you don't see anything, they've got a nice little chat thing here, which I keep thinking I might chat in a minute, but I've got things to do. So can you do like funny chats through, like stalking ones? So, but yes, so if you do want to obviously get anything from them, you can do it as well. Pop over and support our people if you don't mind. Don't forget as well, if you want to join us, which we'll have a look at these in just a second, you can pop over to our official models page on Instagram. Just tag us in your photos like all these people have done. And in a moment, we're just going to pop back to these and we will see all about these as well. And just because I'm a tease and I'm like that, we have got a full listing for you of the 2024 group build layout and setup and timings and what they are. And Nathan can explain to me why we got Spain in there. So, yes, we can see all of it. Because honestly, I don't know why that's in there. I haven't figured that one out yet. But to be honest, I only saw this about 8 minutes ago. So, yes, that's down in there.
Like I say, we do discuss these things while we're drunk, so it probably...
Normally, yeah, and it seems a great idea after quite a few beers. And it's like,
I'll tell you
really?
why.
Did we agree on that?
Oh, well, I think we did. But if you want to know why Spain's in there, just get up an image up of a Spanish Hornet.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
That'll
To be honest, I like the old Matador as well. The Harrier looks really good. And that was a star at the show at Riyadh this year, wasn't it? I think that looked fantastic. Cool. Right, last up, I did promise you we would have a giveaway from this morning, and our winners for a Flory Models, very, very limited, really limited, because I haven't got any left. I'm going to have to print out your winning ones, to be honest. 3D printed by my own fair hands. This is the Tamiya glue holder, which looks like that when they're all installed into it. Has been won by, drum roll please, we've got Richard Thomas. You're on the Flory Models chat this morning. You've won that one. I will be in contact with you. Probably be either tomorrow or Monday. I'll give you a message to get your address and everything to make sure I've got the correct one. And obviously in YouTube chat, you need to contact me via sales at... Well, just do the contact me page is even better on the actual florymodels.org site. If you go and contact me and say I was a winner, and as long as your email roughly says James W, then I will send you one of these ones. So again, but if you literally just want to get in contact with me, I'll verify who you are, and then obviously I'll get one of those sent out for you. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, but that's James W. You were in YouTube chat this morning talking, and then Richard Thomas, you were in the Flory Models chat room talking as well. So congratulations to you two. I'll get those straight out to you as soon as I've got your addresses. So yes, good job.
Well done.
Very nice.
Talk to Adam, because he's asked about the book being separate. It's not Adam because it's a special deal we're getting from Tiger Hobbies.
Yes.
So that's why it's not separate. Sorry. Just buy the kit again. Buy the kit. Get another one. Great. Because it's going to go up to about 300 quid when it comes back in again. So you might as well grab one while they're cheap.
Yeah.
Just an heads up, if you know what I mean.
yes, get them while you can.
Allegedly, somebody's leaving some I don't know, some go-kart team. Apparently.
What?
Who?
Somebody allegedly on our chat says that somebody's leaving a go-kart team.
Oh, are they? I must admit, I've been on other things. I haven't seen our chat. Go on then, fill us in. Who's leaving an F1 team?
He needs to go as well.
Mansell's leaving. Williams.
Is he? No, go on then. Who's leaving? Fill us in.
Verstappen's leaving Red Bull. He's going to.
Is he? Yeah,
Mercedes.
like that never happened. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
going to.
Really?
Apparently it's Perez.
Oh, Perez is leaving, is he? Well, you know why? There's a certain German man who's been pushing to get rid of him. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Just saying. I don't want to start political things and all the rest of it, but yeah.
Or racist things, right? 'Cause
That's why I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He said that, not me. I'm not going down
that's
that
what
one.
everyone's accusing him. That's what he's been accused of, though, isn't it? So.
Oh, look, listen.
What?
Do you hear it? Spitfire's just going over.
Have you
I thought it
farted?
was those
No, I
mints.
haven't farted. It's those mints coming through. But no, Spitfire's just gone over. I've got all the windows shut 'cause it's freezing today. But that Spitfire's just gone over. Look on flight radar now, and you'll see where I live. But yes. Oh well. Is anyone? Where's he going to end up? Do we reckon? Perez? Is he going to go somewhere else?
Yeah, he's
Or
bound
do you
to.
think he might call it quits and say, "Stuff this! I'm taking me money and I'm off."
He'll go to Le Mans or something like that.
Do a-
Or touring cars, I don't know. Where do they go when they retire from F1?
Yeah, where do one
that
drivers go to die?
When they go to
They're a new
IndyCar, don't they?
He might end up in the Andretti team if that ever gets off the ground.
Yeah, I've been talking about it for a while. Brett, do you follow the old F1? Or are you more of a oval circuit fan?
I watched F1 when Schumacher was racing, back in the old days. But now it just seems like the same guy wins all the time. What's the point?
Well, yeah, that
Well,
does
he does.
happen quite a bit.
To be fair, Brett, he does. There ain't no point watching it.
Yeah, it's a bit rubbish this season.
Yeah, Mark says he's going to go and drive some real cars. Probably. So, yes, good job. Right, we've got a quick question down in here. Oh, God, it's all moved. Hold on. We've got a couple of questions in here before we move on. The first one is questions. Are the prices in the PM models VAT-free? No, all the ones on the PM store are including VAT. As I say, it just makes it a little bit difficult because if you're outside the EU, we have to take the VAT off, or the VAT even, off, and then we'll ship it to you. So it just takes us a little bit longer to sort it out. But the VAT will be removed if we do send it outside the EU. But as I said this morning, the trouble we have is that the PM store primary, 99% of all our customers are in the UK. So, and that's how we designed it. So all the prices are inclusive of VAT. So for us to take the VAT off, which means we've got to go through every single item, bearing in mind paint-wise, it runs into the thousands on their own,
We'd have
and
to
take the
close.
VAT off. We'd have to close the store for weeks to be able to do that.
Can I just
So,
say, my little figure man, Dave Bautista, is it?
Who?
The actor, Dave Bautista. Google him. He's an ex-wrestler, isn't he, Brett?
Oh, was he?
He is, yep. He's
Like him.
he's in Guardians of the
That's
Galaxy.
in Guardians of the Galaxy, dude. The big bloke.
Yep.
Oh, the big bloke.
Yeah,
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Yes.
And he was in
Right, got you.
the Bond film, was the Bond baddie, weren't he? In the last,
Yes.
was it last one, second to last one, whichever one it was. Second to last one, weren't it? Skyfall,
Yeah.
was it?
He's
Not
in there
Skyfall,
too,
the one
yeah.
after.
Yeah. Right. Okay. What was the other one? I've got a couple on here. That's all right. I think we're okay. I haven't got anything. That's right. The guys talking about themselves. Question for Brett. Do you have a YouTube channel as well? Sorry if I've missed the info.
Yeah, high altitude scale modeling.
There you go. Brett does reviews and things as well. So if you want to go off and see his reviews on that, you can go off and see Brett his one.
Please do.
Jim says they like your workshop. That's
Thanks.
boy. Are we going to do workshop tours? We were going to do that. Do you remember we said we'd get our cameras out and we'd do workshop tours?
Could do it tomorrow.
No
We
chance.
could do it tomorrow.
Brett
No,
could do
I
one
can't.
today because he's on.
To be honest, we don't care about anyone. Everyone wants to see Nathan's. That's what everyone wants to see
No,
because he always
no.
points and says, "I've got something up there," but no one knows what that
It is.
angle looks like.
You need to see Nathan's stash. That's what you need to see.
Have you seen the warehouse at the end of Indiana Jones?
Yeah, that's
That
it.
is your garage.
It's just lights that go to infinity down the end. That's it.
Just quickie, hobby time question. Just got S3 Viking, and I've got charged £7 VAT, £7 something VAT, and I'm in the UK. Yeah, if you're in the UK, you're going to get charged VAT.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. All prices in the UK are inclusive of VAT. So when it gets to checkout, it puts your VAT. It all sorts it all out, isn't it? So
That's
The price on the website where you actually look at your final price, less your postage is that price. It does give you the VAT separately on the bill. That's just so if you need to claim VAT back, you can.
Yeah, you can claim the VAT back. Cool. Good job. Right, okie dokie. Right, so to start off with, we're going to pop over to Matt, where he's going to,
make a
start
mess. Probably.
make a mess. Let's hope this all works this time, eh?
Oh, if it don't, what's the worst that could happen? Right, so we've obviously got our little busty head faced up. I've painted his eyes in, as you can see, but we'll go to that later. So what I thought we'd quickly do is go through the palette. So pull the camera out of touch. So sell my wet palette, okay? And what I've done here is lined up my colours that are on this wet palette. So they're all Abteilung 502s. They're in no particular order on here. You could just probably figure it out by the colours. But we have got the flesh colours. So we've got the light tone, which is this one here. Where's me pointy stick? There we go. Hold on.
Yeah, you need a pointer.
That's it. There's the light flesh. Okay. There's basic flesh. This one. All right. And there is shadow flesh, which is flesh shadow, which is that one. All right. And then we have got raw umber, which is this one here. Luftwaffe yellow, which now has changed to just yellow, I think, because this is an older one. Obviously, that's that one. I've got an ochre, which is that one. Obviously, the navy blue, faded navy blue. We have a nice red colour, which is just a red primer. And last but not least is a sandy brown. Now, I always put more down than I need anyway with whatever I'm doing, because you never know, because I'm just going to custom mix as we go. And Brett will know these. I'm going to try my King Art brush. I've never tried them yet.
Ooh.
So thanks to Christopher on our chat who sorted these out for me. But yes, I'm going to dip in with one of these King Arts and see how they go. And then I've got, obviously, you need a soft blending brush. For this, I have got one of the Abteilung ones. This is an older one, but it's a number 2 flat. And it's a bit gnarly and, knackered. But they work well for blending. And also, obviously, your little tin of thinners. So I've got the AK odorless. But also, you can use, if you want, fast dry or the matte effect one, depending. If you're using the matte effect one, just bear in mind it does separate, and all the sort of matting agent sinks to the bottom because it's heavier than obviously the thinner it's in. So give it a good wake up and a good shake if you're going to use that one. All right, and it works fine. So here we go. We put some windows on. So I'm going to start off for once with shadows. All right, so if we can bring him back in. So you can kind of work out some outlines anyway. So obviously where the deeper crevices are, we're going to highlight under his eyes, under his eyelids, under the chin. Is going to be where shadows are, a bit down, obviously down this bit, in his ears, around the back of his ears, anywhere where you can see. This is, when people do the old zenithal highlighting. So you've got your black and white, then it kind of obviously highlights more your shadows and highlights, to put it a better way. So what I'm going to use is a bit of raw umber. All right, so put a bit on the brush, thin it out a little bit, and then I'm going to add a bit of flesh shadow just to give it a bit of a warmer tone. All right, so I am just literally mixing this on the fly at the minute. So
can you just show us your mixing palette before you put it on that, so because we can't see that on shot?
Just a quick question. Andrew just wants to know, have you got as many brushes as you've got shoes?
No, I've got a lot more shoes. So, the one good thing about this sort of oil technique is you ain't got to be very precise. You can just sort of draw it in and blend it. So we'll just do under his chin. All right, so this is a dry brush, but obviously if you want to put a bit of thinners on it, I'm just going to rough out a few shadows to begin with. Keep this in sort of shot. All right, so hey, these brushes are nice. I've got to say, you ought to stock these, Brett. They're good.
Yeah,
I'll check into it.
Christopher said he hasn't tried his yet.
You ought to try them. They're nice. Nice brush.
Just to answer Lamar's question as you're doing that, he's saying, how long are the discounts on for? They're going to run until Sunday night. So, but don't forget the flash sale ones that are up at the moment will only last as long as the show. So I think probably around about sort of 5-ish, 6-ish tonight, they will change over to the new ones for this evening. So anything that's in the actual sales section, those extra discount ones, the Tomcat with the book and things like that, those you're going to have to grab now. But everything else is 15% off for the entire weekend, basically.
Yep. Just let me know if I'm not in camera. It's going to look a bit odd to begin with, but again, it's the process of just building it up and just laying down some fine foundations.
Do you want to zoom just into you, Matt? I know it's difficult because obviously you're trying to show a bit of everything, but just move a little bit closer.
That
That's it. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, you're just mapping out sort of some shadows, some of the deeper shadows. Just soften them in. If you do have any questions, just chuck them up.
Just quickly, what's the best 7-second tornado, Nathan?
Still, isn't it, Nave? Is he muted?
Oh yeah, he's muted.
Muted.
Muted, sorry. Best tornado in 72. I'm going to go Revel with that one. For now.
Yeah.
Just waiting for Airfix to do one. But Revel. If you want an F3 though, it's going to be Italeri
Ooh.
or Hasegawa.
I
You
could
can
say,
get the Hasegawa one.
where do you rate the Hasegawa kit?
If you can get the Hasegawa F3, get that.
Yeah.
But it's any other. If it's the ground attack ones, just get the Revel one. But I think it's a kit that's due for a bit of a refresh, I think, to be honest. That's 90s kit now.
Do we think that the F3's been completely overlooked? Because everyone thinks of the GRs and stuff. And
The problem is the GRs then were multi-purpose, though, weren't they? So they did everything.
Yeah.
So the F was really just a one-trick pony, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just a long-range missile platform, wasn't it?
Yeah. Which you could use the GRs for, everything, couldn't you?
I think what they did for the Tornado was the Gulf War. The F3s were in the Gulf War. Didn't shoot. I think they sort of got one of them got a missile lock on a MiG-29 or something. That was about all they did. I think you're right. It's just a bit of an unsung hero, but I don't know. I think the Tornado in 72 is worth the kit manufacturer having a look at now. We'll see. You never know.
So Rob's just saying about, I bet Matt's good at ladies' makeup. Have you not seen RuPaul's Drag Race? That's Matt. He's like a pro at this.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. Contouring, in it.
Yeah, that's it.
Apparently.
When he gets his high heels on, it really sets it off.
I tell you, it does, doesn't it? He gets that necklace on and he's away.
So, who do you think does all of John's makeup when he's Josephine on the weekend?
I don't want to get in trouble, but when are the diorama videos coming?
As soon as Matt allows me to release them. They've been sat there now for the last 6 months, basically, on the server, ready to go. So,
to be fair, Brett, I've still got a figure to paint to
go with it, to finish it
go
off.
with it. So I can see that being done on a live show for what me and Phil do on a weekday or something, just to get it done, because the other bits are done. So what I'll do is, because obviously this, I'm just going to sketch in any of the shadows where I want them to be. So if you lot want to answer questions or do something else, because obviously I've got a bit to do yet, and then we can come back when I'm doing something else.
It's all right. To be honest, it's quite therapeutic watching you.
All right, I'll leave it on me then.
To be honest, it's not bad actually. I'm quite enjoying this.
Yeah. It's just if I can keep myself on camera so you can see what I'm
No,
doing.
you're doing all right. That's why I keep saying to you, left a bit, right a bit. You're a lot better than it used to be.
I'm experienced.
Pro now.
Not really. I won't go that far.
Yeah. Christopher, that one that's over Dawlish is probably the two-seater that just went over here 10 minutes ago. I think he was going down towards probably Dartmouth, and then he was going to scoot round probably up the coast, because that's what they've been doing, and back into Dunk as well. So
You won't believe how much footage I've binned and tried to crop his head out of, and
Not that bad.
not now.
Not as bad as it used to be.
That's what I mean. Yeah, in the past it used to be.
But
he's got a better camera angle now than the old one.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the other problem. Well, sorry, I always got an habit of putting my paintbrush in my mouth. Is the optimizer I was wearing, because I was wearing the old one of these.
Yeah.
One of them. It's a lot stronger, as in you need to be closer. So my head was always in the way. So I've changed that to one of these things. Look.
With the cheap, nasty ones you took the piss out of me for having.
Right.
Yeah, the problem is with the optimizers, you see, you have to choose your strength, but you can buy other magnifications for it.
Yeah. Well, I've got.
You don't have to just go with one magnification, but
that was the one you recommended, Andy, when I got it.
well, yeah, it is good for doing.
That's it. Blame Andy.
No, but I weren't planning on doing videos then when I got it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, a couple of little questions we've got down in here. So, do we know when Fly will release a new 1/32 scale Westland Wessex? No idea on that one.
Do you think they ever will?
I don't think they will. They've covered it quite well with the versions they did, didn't they?
Is it the yellow one that's been on the catalogue to do forever?
Yeah.
So one.
And they're like the rescue. I don't know which version it is, but they've never. It's never seen the light of day, has it? So.
No. You can say I like that kit. I think it's a great kit. I thoroughly enjoy doing mine. But then I'm a bit of a Wessex fan myself, so
You've got to be a Wessex fan, ain't you?
yes, definitely.
To be honest, that Italeri one we've got up for sale. That's worth building. I like that kit. Got to say so.
Andy, have you finished your Spitfire yet?
Oi.
I can't hear you, Phil. What? I needed to tidy my room out, and I was trying to get it finished before I needed to tidy the room out, but unfortunately I ran out of time. So I've given it a little bit of break, only sort of temporarily. I'm just building this at the moment. I can't see camera going on thing.
I can't come to you. Hold on, where are you? Oh, hold on, I've lost you. There you go. Yeah.
Building this at the moment. There's a bit of a Mojo refresher. Shouldn't take long to it. It's quite a nice, easy kit. Copy's already together. Did it the other night when we were on with the guys. And then I'll jump back on it, and all it needs is just weathering. I'm pretty much there, to be honest with you. I've done all the chipping on it and everything. I just need to do some more weathering on it.
Cool, very good. The guys are asking, Brett, what you're working on at the moment. Hold on, I've lost you. Where's Brett?
I'm doing the
Wow, that's a big one.
BR86.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
35th BR86 that I've been working on for years. Right now I'm
Nice.
weathering up the inside.
Don't show my other half that. She'll want one.
I'm using pigments, and I'm trying these new ammo dio dry brush paints,
And
which
how
are
you
just
getting on with
essentially
them?
they seem to work really well. I mean, they're just essentially very, very thick paint.
Yeah.
acrylic paint.
Are they a bit like the old dry brushing paints that Games Workshop used to do? Because that was like that, wasn't it? It was just like really thick paint.
Yeah, and like Citadel too, they're dry brushing paint. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's just very, very thick paint.
Yeah.
But Ammo's got 18 colors, I think, so you get a good variety.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
So yeah, I've been working on this for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I want to get it finished this year.
Yeah.
It is with the tender on the end of it. It's going to be massive, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. I got a diorama going for it too, which is why I want to see your diorama videos.
All
I'm
right.
gonna cover it with snow, and I've got some snow things going on with it.
Yeah, that look nice with the 35th Carl Gustav on the back of it.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now.
Cool. Very good. Nice. Right. Okay. Question for Matt about painting. Would you use photos or painting for references when painting larger busts or figures? I wonder if it would be more helpful.
To be honest with you, there's a few guys I follow on YouTube, and some of them do. So I think there's a company in the States called Sideshow Collectibles. I think they're called. They're a very expensive sort of figure range. Yeah. But they're massive. So there's quite a following for them, and how they paint them as well. And I kind of nick techniques from them, because they do spattering techniques, to get sort of like if they've done on the channel, they've done like the penguin from Batman, and how they've done it is he looks like he's let's just say a bit washed out, to put it politely. But how they've actually painted his skin tones is brilliant. How they've done it, so you can pick up little tips like that, and then like Doctor Who figures and like Clint Eastwood and things like that, and you can get they do quite realistic skin tones for the bigger like the bigger figures, shall we say. But obviously you can translate that a little bit to smaller ones if you want to. I think it's a bit thing for 35th, but kind of this scale you could probably get away with it. But they do the bit of the flicking technique, with like blues and greys, for your skin's not perfect, is it? Very rarely. So you get that undertone, and then they go over it and blend it all in. So yeah. I just, to be honest with you, I really just tend to look at either other artists, as in portrait artists, or other figure painters, to be honest, and just pick up tips. So, yeah.
Nice. Apparently, you say the guys are obviously on flight radar, and there's 2 two-seater Spitfires flying around at the moment. So, yeah, that's it. We've got Golf Tango Charlie Hotel India, and we've got Golf India Lima Delta Alpha going around. So, yeah, they're obviously doing the pleasure flights. I don't know how much they are at the moment. They were very expensive last time I looked.
They're about 3.5, 4 grand, something like that.
It is, isn't it, for, a quick 20, 30-minute flight?
Because we've been looking at them for Sam's 21st.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think we'll go with the Harvard. It's about 400 quid.
Stick him up in a glider.
Can we squeeze a third person into a Harvard? I'll go.
Question for me. Hold on, it's jumping around a bit. Are you going to build the 172nd Airfix Nimrod in the future? Do you know what? I have that kit. I bought it because they were giving them away at one point. Literally, they were giving them away. I think I paid $10 for it at some show. They had a stack of them, and I thought, I'll have one for that. And it is here. And to be honest, going back to last night's show, we were talking about paint colours we've got in extra acrylics. That's why I've got 2 bottles of hemp. Because I was going to do it in the hemp one, obviously, and do it like that. But I do have that said kit. And I've got the TSR2, the 48 scale one. So, and out of all my little, when I flog off my stash and we do things for, members' things and stuff, I've never got rid of it. It's always been here. So that normally means at some point I might get around to doing it. So again, it will look quite nice with the old VC10. And then obviously if we go along with me Vulcan and all the other ones, so for the bomber section and reconnaissance. So never say never with that particular one.
There's one here from Bradley. It says, awesome weekend Flory Fest. Loving here in Australia. Plus our warm weather is warming up, coming out of winter. with the days into mid to high 20s. Now is it just getting colder? I'd love to go to Australia during our winter time if it wasn't for all the things that try and kill you.
Yeah, there's a few things that can bite your bum and make you a bit poorly.
Just.
Well, that's the weird thing, isn't it? From that part of the world, isn't it? You go to Australia and everything wants to kill you, and you go across I know it's quite a bit of water to New Zealand, and everything's nice and friendly.
Yeah. And we get a big spider. It's about the same size as your thumb, and they get a big spider. And it's
the size of your face.
Yeah,
it's like a face hugger from Aliens.
Yes, I see. It's a golden wheel. Right, dark sea grey.
Another one down in here for Brett. Are you into sci-fi stuff as well?
I've built some Star Wars. I've built an Enterprise, and I'm going to build the Space 1999 Eagle during the December sci-fi build thing that always goes on.
Which scale are you doing? You doing the small one or the big one?
The big one.
Oh, yeah. John's got that one, hasn't he?
Yeah, I just like the look of that Eagle.
No, that is
So
cool.
yes, I'll be doing that in December when the sci-fi time comes up.
Yes, I've still got mine, haven't I? Did I sell mine? I'm looking at my stat. No, I've still got mine. I've got the NPC one, but I've got the small one, the deluxe edition, but it's the baby one compared to the monster. So, but yeah, no, it is a cool aircraft or ship, I should say. So I must admit, I watched some of the TV shows the other day. That was interesting. I never remember them being such tight tops. It must be a 70s thing. So everything was almost spray painted onto the cast, including the blokes. It was a bit weird, but yes.
Christopher says, just quickly, Chris says, question for the team in chat and the chat. Two seat Spitfires look weird.
Yeah,
a little bit.
They do two versions of it, don't they? They do the one where it's sort of still streamlined, but then you don't get much view out the back end, or they do the one with the big bubble on the back of it.
So the one with the bubble on the back, weren't they built for the Irish Air Corps or something? As their trainers. So they were actually properly built as two-seaters, whereas the other ones were converted. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them have since been. Some of the conversions have been then reconverted again and had bubble top canopies put on, haven't they, off Spitfires as well? So
yeah,
there's proper ones and made up ones, but yeah, they all look weird.
Need to say a quick hello to our man in the Philippines, David Pierce.
Do you know, I was just about to read that out. Hello, David. We haven't heard from you in a long, long time. Hope you're doing well and the family's all good. Yeah, a long time since we've heard from you. So yes, I hope everyone's well out in the Philippines and you're all doing well. Family's good.
A couple of years, hasn't it?
Must be, yeah, definitely.
Waiting for an op on his eye.
Ryan's also got one. A quick question. It just moved on me. Quick question. Hopefully someone can. It moved again. Someone can help with Airfix Hurricane Mark 1. Can a Sea Hurricane Mark 1 be made from the kit? Obviously, aftermarket decals are needed. As I seem to remember, the hook section being in the kit. I think it is in the kit, isn't it? In the Hurricane Mark 1.
It's in one of them. They do the set. Yeah, I'd have to check. I'll just go into my warehouse.
Nathan's got a look.
Have a look. I think there's like a Hurricane 2C on the
Yeah, I'm sure one of them does come with the
hook.
Peter says, ever since we did the camera upgrades, appear to have lost their contrast. Your videos appear darker and light and no in between. Is it? Am I that far? Sometimes it's because we're doing it through this and it does play with it. But normally if I'm in solo mode, again, I haven't got my other light on. To be honest, I have two big lights and I have a third. And because it's daytime, I haven't got the third one on. So that will lighten this entire thing up. The background becomes a lot lighter. So some of it may be me not having all my lights on. Look, I can turn one on now. It might make a big difference. Or it might mean nothing. But yeah. So there we go. That's the other big light on. Can't look up. That's why Andy has diffusers and I don't, because I can't look that way. So, but yes. Just with a T, was pointing out about, I've got to try and find it now, was saying about my build of something or other. Hold on, where is it? There we go. He's just scanning through the old Instagram pages and he saw that I did the Kitty Hawk 1/35th scale SH60B. That's one of the best builds I've ever seen. Wow. Is there a public video series of it? There's not a public one, there's a pay one. So obviously for people who don't realise, and this goes to, we had a comment on YouTube, we're saying about less waffle, more making. Well, the reason we do this is so we can have a waffle, because if you want to do the videos, obviously we've got, well, I think we've got roughly around about 100 videos that you have to pay to watch, which are just nothing but building. There's no yaff in it, there's no talking in it, there is no waffle. All right, so basically if you pop along to the site, you just go down in here and clicking video builds will bring you in here. And these are technically behind a paywall. And if I can find the SH60, which is in here somewhere, it's not that far back, I don't think, is it? I can't remember when I did it. There it is. So this is over here. There's a full video build over here. You can look at, though, this is the bit I'm getting at, you can look at reference the actual pictures down in here of the build and go right the way through. So there's like a photo log to it. This was just on the cusp when I changed out the videos. You know, from being this way to the newer way. The newer way, they're all more in sequence, but you've got all the little things down here, all the paints we used, and obviously we've got all the detail painting, and then over here, as you can see, we've actually got pictures of the completed model that you can see in high res as well, and there's videos and all the bits and pieces. So if you want to go off and see these ones, but these are all behind the paywall, and I think it's around about 95, 98 currently, which you're in. And then what I do is that every time a new one comes out here, I make one free of the older one. So it's just like a rolling thing. But the last 100 full video builds, and this one is, God, how many parts is this one? This is a 13-parter. So it's probably going to be around about, I don't know, 20 something hours or something down in there. So you can go in and you can see all about that one. All right. But as I say, it's got some nice shots and the various bits and pieces we did to this one, because we did a bit of scratch building in there as well. But really nice kit. Love that kit. Still think that's Kitty Hawk's best kit. And then they went pop. So it's a real shame. But again, with all the other video builds, you can see bits from it right the way through. Like when we just did the Harrier, you'll see this is the more modern one. So it's got the photos. And obviously members, you'll click in here and it'll take you off to watch the video. If you're a non-member, it won't take you anywhere. So, yeah.
Terry says he likes the waffle. You've come to the right place.
You've done. Ooh. So this is what it's really about. What I'm trying to get across here is obviously if you go on the site and obviously you pay, you get all the non-waffle stuff. We do the waffly stuff because it's a bit laid back and a little bit different from what we normally do all day long. So, but yeah, it is all good stuff. We like waffling because we're good at it. So, cool. Look at that. Coming together now.
What is?
Still think you should have done in blue. Could have been
blue.
Dr.
Yeah, I might just be painting in blue. Here you go, look.
He's coming to life, isn't he?
If you did it in blue, it could be the engineer from Prometheus.
Yeah.
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 Do you know what? That's the good thing about this, because you know, if you just print a load of these off when you've got the file, you can paint in whatever you want, can't you? Green, blue, you can just play.
Absolutely.
And for like £1, what was the file, Andy? About £1.40p or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then how much of resin, and how long did it take to print? 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
So if you've obviously got a bigger printer, you can get a few of these on, depending on what scale you want, and just practice away. You're not scared then of like obviously.
We could have probably got 3 or 4 of them on the build.
I reckon we could have, yeah, right. Even on our little Mars 2, weren't it? So now we've got the Saturn, you know. Before you ask, no, we can't print them off and sell them because it's obviously a thingy file. But if you have got a 3D printer and you fancy doing this, then it's quite a cheap way of just having disposable heads to practice on.
Still haven't opened the box of the Saturn, have we?
I've ordered the plate today.
Oh, the flexi plate.
So obviously when we've got this, all the things back up to date. So
about a month's time, yeah.
I would probably say after Phil's wedding, because the week after is a bit of an odd week as well.
Yeah.
Probably get ourselves up and running again, I think. We're a bit normal, but yeah. No. So, just coming back to me, if you don't mind, just for a minute.
Yeah, I'm on you now. Yeah.
Right, so if I just go to my palette. So just on my palette, what I've been doing is, for a bit of the deeper shadows, is mixing a bit of blue with a bit of the flesh shadow. So you get this sort of grey, browny colour, to put it any politely, but it's a nice colour just for, like, say, for the really deep recesses, like in between the nose and the eyes, under the eyebrows. I've done a bit under the chin and then down here on his neck as well. And I'll probably do a bit on his back, behind his ears, as well as another place. Just think of it like a shadow, as in, a dark blue shadow, if you want to call it that. And I'll probably do a bit down this bottom eventually as well, down his back.
Just replying to Terry, I think it was. Sorry, Tony. Does your 3D printer tell you the cost of the print? The printer doesn't, but the slicing software, which we use, Box, as long as you put the cost of the resin per litre or whatever, whatever scale you're using, weights you're using, or volumes you're using, it does work it out for you. I don't know if it's accurate, to be honest with you. Don't know. Do you use that?
It gives you a rough idea, though, don't it?
To be honest, I don't think it's that accurate. It gives you a ballpark figure, but it's not that expensive. If you think a kilo of resin costs around about sort of 20-25 quid, obviously you can get cheaper ones and more expensive. But to do something like that, you're probably going to be looking at, I don't know, 50p to do it, 'cause it's hollow as well. It's not solid. So it's probably going to cost you 50p in resin to print it.
It'd have been even more hollow if we put the holes in the bottom as well, top and the bottom.
Well, he did after you had a drill. He had his head drilled in.
Yeah.
For people in chat, you might have just noticed that Karine just posted up saying about the Brevco stuff is coming in. So yes, she's just put up there. Hi guys, just heard that the display stuff is on its way. Maybe even delivered today. Fingers crossed. So for people who've been after the old display bits and pieces, don't forget you can pop over to Brevco Modelling NL, and they've got all the bits and pieces down in here. Obviously I did a load of demos when the guys were over with me in the summer. As I say, a lot of it was out of stock by the time you saw the videos. So anyway, it is all back in. So if you want your nippers, the sanders we've been speaking about, all the other bits and pieces that you do, you can just pop in here. They've got their display section. And obviously you've got the normal thing. There you go, everything, including butts. Let's not forget corgi butts. Male and female options are available. And I'm not joking. If anyone hasn't seen that, I am not joking. So, but yeah, you've got all the different tools. Obviously, I did the reviews on the brushes, which actually I have been using. They're very nice. And stuff like that. So if you do want to pop over, they've got a big restock coming in. We spoke about these as well. I do like their sanders because obviously they're reboxed by Meng. But as I say, you can get the display ones as well. They're very nice. And all the other tools that you would have seen me do the reviews of over the last few weeks. I've still got to do the sander one. I've got the sander one here, but I've been using them, so I like to have a go with them first. But again, if you want some nice, good quality stuff, you know where to get it. So just pop over to brevomodelling.nl and you can get it all down in there. Some very nice stuff indeed. So yes, cool.
It does take a long time to get display. I've got a new order in because I'm completely out, and it's been at least 5 weeks. It takes forever.
Yeah, they're not the fastest company in the world, are they?
No, they're not.
Face it. Yes, Kareem puts out, yes, the Brexit problem has not been helpful. I'm just gonna, I'll do it that way, bless her. Yes. So yeah, Brexit hasn't been kind to getting stuff moving around the EU, unfortunately. So, but yeah, it's a little bit of a nightmare. Quick one for Matt. Do you want the French decals for your 1/32 scale Puma kit? And if not, can he have them? He built it when he was 12, and he still has it, and it looks very, I think he means tatty, and would like to rebuild it.
The French decals, as in, the only ones I've got is to get French with it. I thought it was RAF in the civilian one. If there is some French ones, I'll have a look. Yeah.
Because I've got the Revell Reboxing, which has just got the Tiger Meat RAF Tiger Meat one in it. So
yeah, I'll have a look. Who's that?
This is Peter M. Your best bet, Peter, is to get hold of the Contact Me on PM Models, because that'll go to Matt then. Or if you're a member, just hit Matt up in the forum. Jim says, Brett, have you started work on the border models Nashorn?
No, I'm planning on early October for that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful kit.
David says, Phil, I received the 3D printed glue and micro set and sole holders yesterday. Thank you very much. Pleased with them and your prompt service from placing my order to delivery. No problem. Pleasure. Yeah, don't forget, Josh, it's only literally, it's £4 plus the old VAT a month. What can you get for £4 a month? Or you could do it annually. We charge £50 for the entire year, so you get a couple of months free. There you go. I'm sure we have one here somewhere. All right, I'll just go through questions.
Josh has got a couple of good questions at the bottom. Or Josh, sorry.
Go on. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, go on. Yeah. It says, sci-fi related, Blade Runner is such an iconic and influential movie. Most of the sci-fi franchises are converted to an inch of their lives, despite outstanding designs. Blade Runner is such an underdog.
Yeah.
And it also says, being a Blade Runner fan, why aren't there any decent kits of the police spinner, except for Vajumi 124th or insanely overpriced garage kits? Could be a license issue.
It could be. A lot of this, I think we've spoken about this before on some of the other shows, licensing plays a bigger thing than I think most people think. You know, just to get the license can take literally years of emails going back and forth, let alone discussing money to get licenses and get people signed off on it.
You can get one of the buildings from Blade Runner in 1/72nd scale by Bandai.
Yeah.
Because it was the
And
Millennium
if you're
Falcon.
talking garage kits, the trouble we've got with the garage kits is that technically they're not going to be licensed or anything else, but you've got one person who's working on that, and if it's resin or something, you're dealing in very, very limited quantities. And I do or have built in the past tons of garage built stuff which I bought online, and some of it I've had to wait. Literally, I've been on a waiting list for years until they've got to where I've been able to take delivery of it, and you do pay a premium for that service. So you know, it's one of those things, really.
Yeah, because one of the buildings in the original Blade Runner was a Millennium Falcon, wasn't it? Stood on its end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very short of models from there, isn't there?
Matt, what brand of vice are you using?
Just a cheap one off Amazon. Just put in the mini jeweler's vices or whatever, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. It was jeweler's vice, wasn't it? Yeah.
A jewellery vice, and you'll.
Because you've got that other one, haven't you? The display one you showed this morning as well. That's quite a nice one. It's got a nice ball joint
that is
on
a
that.
nice one. Yeah. I mean, there's all different price brackets as well, so this is a cheapo one.
Jim says, how often do you perform maintenance on your 3D printers? The simple answer is depends how much you use it. Like mine has been running non-stop now for the best part of 3 weeks, and it's been going night and day. And there are consumable parts because obviously the film on the bottom of the tank with the resin in, that only lasts so long, and obviously depending on how big the prints are coming off of it and all stuff like that. But I've had to change that the actual print area, if you like, now twice in the last sort of 3 weeks. But that printer is doing a lot of work, and it's literally running almost 24/7. But if you were just doing bits occasionally, probably hardly ever, so that's the only maintenance you're really doing. Some of the consumable bits. Normally, what's it called? The FTP film, whatever it is. I don't know what it's called.
FET.
FET. That's it. The FET. Which is just a clear plastic that on the bottom of the resin tank that the light can shine through. Over time, it goes cloudy, and also it does stretch because it's being pulled up with every layer onto it. And I've noticed once it gets a little bit too slack, for want of a better word, then sometimes you can get fail prints from it. But if you're just doing general little stuff like I was doing to start with, then it's not really a problem. So. What would be the best way to become a member from Canada?
Patreon.
Well, I think, to be honest, you've got two options. You can just pop along, obviously, on the main site. If you go to membership, you've got the full details. Talks all about it down in here and the various things. We've got two ways of doing it. You can do it via Patreon. Patreon, to be honest, is a little bit of a ball ache unless you're in the EU, because it takes a little bit of time. This is a manual system. So I physically have to create you an account, set you up, and off you go with it and everything else. A more of an automated one is literally you just email me with your name and address, so I just know you're not in the EU, because I don't want to get in trouble. All right. And then what it is, I send you a membership, and it's all fully automated. Basically, you to work out if you want to pay monthly or yearly. You do that, and you're straight in, and you're off and running. It's as simple as that. Patreon means you sign up with Patreon. So if you are in the EU, because of VAT problems, because of Brexit and everything like that, is that I cannot take or make payments in VAT inside the EU, you see, because I am not a registered company inside the EU. So consequently, what we have to do is use a third party. So in our case, we use Patreon. So if you just literally click on Patreon down in here, it will take you off to Patreon. You can sign up to it. You will instantly get full access to everything that we've been doing since we started Patreon, which was, 2 years ago now? But the back catalogue, you'll just have to wait a couple of hours until I set it all up for you. All right. But either way, it's no problem. Say, if you're in Canada, the easiest way is to just shoot me an email. If you click down here, it'll take you off to the email area. Literally, I can show you. If you go in here, pop your details in, and in your message, just say, I'd like to join up and I'm in Canada. I then just confirm that you're in Canada, and then I'll send you a link, and it will have it on. As soon as you get the link, you just click on it, and it will take you off to the forum where it asks you to put in a password, and it will ask you to subscribe either, for a monthly or an annual sort of contract or subscription. You can cancel at any point. You can cancel after, literally 20 days, say, I don't want it, and you'll just be billed that £4. All right, or you just leave it running and it will just carry on forever. And then once you're in, obviously you'll be taken down into here as well, which is the big thing, is the forum, which we've got tens and tens, almost hundreds of thousands of posts in here, all about it. And this is where all the magic happens, down in here. So literally when you're in here, you can go through, and we've got all the different areas and discussion areas. You guys are asking how we do the questions and the various things down in here. We've got down on here, we've got the chat room. You click on there, you'll be taken into, hide your eyes everyone, our chat room, and this is where all these questions are coming from. They're all down in here. All right, and then all the members are sat in here as well. So that's all down like that, and all the other bits and pieces. And obviously if you want to see all the video builds, literally you can just come in here, and if we just pick out the Harriers being the last one, all of them are in here, and you can talk and discuss it and go through all the motions of it as well, and they're all down in here. And as you'll see when it loads through, there we go, all the videos, and you can play all the videos, talk and discuss it and everything. They're all down in here just like that. So yeah, probably the easiest way. The forum is where all the action is, which is what nobody gets to see.
Yeah,
so
PM Models also does pre-orders through.
Yeah, which is obviously a big thing. Obviously with us is that you can pop into here. If you go into just in here, you've got the PM section as well. And this is where all our pre-orders are, which are all discounted. So you all get a discounted price down in here as well. So literally just come along, pick out a pre-order you want to do. So let's just say you wanted the Edard foot. So again, you can see, and obviously we've got it up at a discount price. So instead of being £57.50, you can have it for £51.99. You put your name down, and you'll only be invoiced when we've got the kit. When we've got the kit in our hands, you'll be sent an invoice, and then we'll ship it to you, and away it goes. So you're not paying any money up front or anything else like that. It's just, you've let us know you want one, and we can get them in at a discounted price, so forth and so on. And that works for a lot of other stuff as well. So, yes, good stuff. Keeps us going. So, anyway, Nathan, how's the old F-35 going?
Well, after
Hold on,
a
where are
small
you?
confession.
Yes. Ooh,
This kit
filler.
does not need filler unless I've built it. It doesn't need filler, so I've just done a little bit of a join there.
Oh right,
And the
okay.
same on that side.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah,
What have you done
it's
wrong?
getting its first coat of extra dark sea grey, which is barely perceptibly different from the plastic, which is fun. But yeah,
Fair enough.
it's
Fair enough.
going. I just need
So
to,
how comes you needed filler? What went wrong?
because I just basically didn't clamp it.
Right.
Built it in a hurry, whacked a bit of super glue in, and obviously the super glue meant I didn't get a good join there. I've got a good join where the super glue is, but not where the rest of it is. So that's my fault, that. But smidge of filler, little bit of a sanding stick, it'll be fine. But you see, can't complain. That's not Airfix's fault. That's me. So I'm just working on bits and pieces now, getting the undercarriage ready while the filler's drying. Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm just going to have 5.
You're going to have a quick break. Very nice. Sorry, where's Brett? Hold on, I've lost Brett. Where's Matt? Oh, there you go. There's Brett. Look at that. It gives you an idea of the size of that engine.
It's huge, isn't it?
It's huge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a big one.
You've got a train to build, Phil.
Hush now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what did you say?
I've got a diesel Dalek to build. Is that for Telford 2026?
That's for
Except for all these little
20,
fiddly parts, it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
2036.
It's just
so.
big.
Mm.
And it comes with track and a section of track about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a question on YouTube chat. It's asking Brett a question. Do you plan on expanding the number of Flory items available?
I don't know, Phil. Is there anything else I don't have?
I think Brett's pretty. You've got the pigments, don't you? As I say, obviously
I do.
sand has been discontinued. The merch, I'll just being honest, the trouble we have with the merch, like the t-shirts and all the stuff like that, is I don't make much on it. So by the time we ship it out to Brett, there's probably no profit in it at all. So, you know, as I say, I don't do the usual and charge 30 quid for a mug and, you know, 80 quid for a t-shirt. So there's very, very little in it. So by the time we used to ship it to Brett, I don't think there'd be anything in it, so to speak. As I say, as Brett knows and we do, we share the shipping costs, but shipping is horrendous getting it to the US. Not alone, mention the time it takes to go through customs. You'd think I'm trying to bring in something really dodgy in it, like gun parts or something, the way it sits in customs for a month. So
Yeah, sometimes it goes quick, sometimes it's 3
well, we had
days
one of
on
them
it.
got to you within 4 days, wasn't it? I sent it literally
Yeah.
on a Monday and you had it Thursday. That was the fastest we've done it. Other times we've done it and it sat there for a month trying to get through customs. So
Plus the problem with the merch is there's so many sizes,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
then we're sitting on things that we don't sell. And
Yeah, no, it is. Because as I say, I've got the unit out the back and it's literally just full of a lot of merch because obviously we do t-shirts and polos and everything from small to 5XL. So, as I say, that's the trouble. I don't do this thing to order and they're manufactured. I go off because I've got a printer, same as Matt does, literally just down the road. And, you know, as soon as when I get down to 2 or 3, I order maybe 10 more of each. And we do it literally like that. So we've got the stock right here. So no one's waiting around for stuff to come in or get sorted. So, cool. Jim said, what scale's the locomotive, Brett?
135th.
Nice. Very nice.
And the second question, Brett, how does shipping to Canada work?
Right now, I got a flat rate of shipping to Canada of $20 when you do an order. If it comes up less than that, I refund it. If it comes up more than that, then I just deal with it and live with it. Unless it's a lot more, then I'll email you and say, hey, this is twice as much as shipping.
Yeah.
Brett, is it true, like, you from the States have trouble shipping to Canada because of the price?
I don't
Or
have
is that-
trouble. It just takes forever.
As in what? Canadian Post?
Yeah, Canadian Post takes forever. It'll get into Canada in 2 or 3 days, and then it's sit in
Right.
Canada and take another 2 weeks to get to them. Because I'll
Is that
send them
because the
tracking
Canadians
and everything.
don't like you?
Well, Canadians love me. It's the rest of
I bet,
America
yeah, I
they
love
don't
you, but I
like.
meant to say the rest of America.
I think Canadians have their own political problems right now that they're not so much worried about us anymore.
Yeah.
It's a bit like we love Europe, but Europe doesn't like us.
Yeah, that's about how it is. Because I love Canada.
Yes. I must admit, it always
So I was
amazes
gonna
us.
ask-
Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
on.
Well,
Well, I was
just
just gonna
asking
say-
which. You go, Phil.
Okay, I was just going to say that it's funny because even though, you know, Canada is technically one of the British colonies and stuff like that, in this day and age it means nothing. It's not like you get a simple route in or pass in or anything else like that. It doesn't matter if you're sending a letter there, a parcel there, or going on holiday. You know, you're still basically stripped out to an inch of your life to try and get in and prove everything. You know, so yeah, I don't think there's any easy way. That's why it's quite nice having distributors and stockists in each country because all that hassle's done for you. So, you know, you don't have to sort of ship it. Because even, you know, I'm sure Brett probably feels the same. The amount of paperwork we have to do and the time it takes to do customs, to get items into another country, you know, it can take you sort of 10, 15 minutes per item to get those through. So if I've got like 30 orders going abroad, that's hours, which I've got to sit and just do customs paperwork to try and get them through. So, and usually in triplicate. Everything has to be in triplicate.
In triplicate, exactly.
Sorry, go on, Brett.
I was going to ask Matt which display holder he has.
It's hold on, get the camera out of the way. It's one. Well, I think Kareem gave it to Phil, and Phil gave it to me, didn't you? It's that one. Look.
Yes.
They've got this new one that I love. It's this one here.
Hold on, Brett, coming to you. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, the handheld one with the base, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it comes right off the base and it fits in your hand and it's got the ball joint on it. And this is my favorite one because it's so easy to use. Problem is, it's not cheap.
No, but
that's the thing with all display stuff, but it is quality. Yeah. That's the difference.
It is. Yeah, this is my favorite because I got that other one too, but this one just seems to be easier for me to use. And I'm sure Corinne's got these. Or if not, she'll get them.
Yeah. Nice bit of kit. I must admit, I haven't seen that one. Corinne, I need one of them, just saying, if you're on. So
once you use this, you'll never go back to the other ones just because of this handheld part. And you can set it right back down.
That's pretty clever, isn't it? It's a simple thing.
It's got a very heavy base, so you'd have to literally try to knock it over.
Right, okay. Oh, God, Josh, I wouldn't go through that one about the US technically being a British colony. They get upset about that.
Nah, we got over that a long time ago.
It's a sticky subject, and don't get me on that one because I get in trouble every time I make little jokes. And to be honest, everyone, they are jokes when I say about it, but the amount of people think I'm being deadly serious.
Isn't it more like we're the 51st state of America?
Yeah.
It does seem like the tables have turned somewhat, yeah.
Yes.
You'd actually be the 52nd state because Puerto Rico wants to be 51st.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, that's true.
Let them have that.
There you go. Yes,
so what are you doing, Phil?
Me, not a lot at the moment. So I was just going to do one more back to Matt, and then I'll do a demo on mine. So there we go, because Matt's got some proper colour going on there. Look, he's really building it up.
There you go. Just going to fill a
He's
few
getting
more.
a tan now. He's getting a tan.
I am. I'm just going for a bit of a redder tone for his shadows, which is just a pure shadow oil paint. I've been doing some highlighting, so I've just been mixing. Can you see my palette? Can you see that?
Yes. Yep. Bob Ross, you are. Go on then. Mr. Big old brush.
A big old brush, yeah. So a bit of flesh shadow with a bit of the yellow, and then adding a bit of white, and then a touch of the basic flesh tone here as well. So, and then obviously with the deep shadows, like I said, I've just been using a bit of the blue and then a bit of the flesh shadow as well. So, like I say, you can just sort of custom mix on the fly when you've got a palette going, if you know, so you can change the hues and whatever else, and that's a good thing about, even if you're using all those acrylics, you know, just lay down a certain amount of colours, and then you'll just get it, if that makes sense. the figure face or whatever will kind of take you where it wants you to go. It sounds a bit arty-farty, I know, but it kind of does. And if it's got quite a lot of expression like this has, obviously there's a lot going on, so again it's easier kind of to paint where you can really see where the shadow should be in the highlights. And that really, if you are wanting to do this and practice, is what you want, because there's a lot going on that'll help you to evolve your painting skills. So
I just
complimenting you on your painting, Matt. You're all good.
Yeah. Clive, if you still want one, if you just post up in our chat room, because you're in there, I can invoice you for one. I see you just put a big order in. If you do still want one, I can invoice you for one at the same price.
Cool.
Just let me know.
We'll do that. Right. Okay. So following on from this morning, you might remember we were doing things with the washes and the various bits and pieces. So some of these items have totally dried now, so I can show you what we mean. So one of them was that mud effect we were doing around in here. So you can see this is all totally dried in here. And that's just by mixing in a little bit of pigment. It's great for doing chunky mud. Come on, camera. Play ball. You know, and again, we've got this dirt effect going down in here. And again, it doesn't come off. It will stay in there until it's wet. It's not like the other wash. You know, we were playing up here on the roof, which I can show you a little bit up here. This is the normal wash. So again, you can rub quite a lot of it away. It will start to come back. But if we wet a cloth here a bit, we can proper just get it to go in. So this is just the dust wash up on here. And you can see we can just knock it back into the roof, just literally like that. As I say, it works really, really well. All right. One of the big things though, like we said before, we got it down in here. We've got two things going on. One, we've got this white side down into the armour. And again, this doesn't come off. This is literally like paint now. It's dry, whereas obviously the wash will come off. But what I've got over here, I've literally got just next to me some water. And we've got a couple of brushes. So we're just going to grab a little bit of water on the brush, knock most of it off. And again, you can then activate and sort of come back straight into this. So again, down in here, there was a little bit of pigment just from last time, still down in here. And you can see it just reactivates it and comes through. So if I pick somewhere that's probably not got pigment into it. All right, so down in the front here, you get most of the water all off. And then again, you can start to come in and you can notice how this will scratch. Where the other wash would turn back to a water, literally, and you just be blending it around, this will physically start to scratch off rather than anything else. And you can do this sort of scratch marks and take chunks out of it. So you just sort of reactivate it and think of it like oils, because the less you've got, you can, as soon as it starts to get a bit of a feel, it's starting to almost split and crack through. So you can do all of these types of things with it. So again, it's really strange. As I say, if you worked with oils, you'll know what I mean. That thing about if this was enamel thinners, for instance, and this was oils, you know full well you'd have to get almost all of it off. This is exactly the same, because if you take pretty much all of it off, it's almost like dry brushing. You're just dry brushing through those layers, and as you can see, this has got hardly any on, and then hopefully you'll see it will start to give, and then all of a sudden it starts to crack and tear it, whereas obviously before nothing's happening. And this is just the difference between the thicker wash and the other one. So get most of it all off, and you can sort of come through, and you can do lots of quite arty-farty things with this. And again, if you want to, you can literally just go at it like this all the way through, and we'll just drag this all the way through. But you've got so much more control over this than you would have if you were doing it the normal way, perhaps with a cotton bud and stuff. Because again, if I get a clean tissue, like we showed on the first part where we were just rubbing through it almost, this will go the same way. So if we come down in here, hardly anything's coming away. We've got a little bit, but we can start to wear through it. So again, tiny little bit of moisture, that's all, not much at all. And then we can just sort of start to come in, and we can wear, and just starting to get it all to release. But you'll probably see how tough this is compared to, you know, when you're using traditional washes. But again, it's this thing about just trying to keep it light, that you can do sort of different things and different grades and wearing it through. And again, we'll just pop along here. So we just grab a tiny little bit of water, but nothing really much. I just brush it off the back of my hand, and we'll just come in here, and we can wear some of this back. And again, I've got little bits of pigment in here from the first time this was weathered. But hopefully you get the idea, and we can use cotton buds So again, tiny little bit of moisture on these things, and we can just come in and wear through. And you're just layering it up. You can probably see the difference down in here to how it was before, because obviously technically it's like this on top. And now you can see how we're leaving some of it in behind and going right the way through. So, and again, it's great for doing winter stuff, but if you want scrapes out of it and gouges, again, you can do a lot of this stuff whilst leaving it pretty much just a thin amount still on the surface. So a proper worn down, perhaps, look to it. Just to really sort of wear it all in, and it works just like that. The same goes on the other side where we were doing the dark stuff. You can tiny little bit of moisture. Again, you'll start to reactivate it. And you can stab and chip and wear. So think of it like dry brushing almost in reverse in a lot of cases. And you can literally just wear your way through a lot of this. Water most of it all off. It sort of stays put and then releases. You can do some really quite funky stuff with this. And again, depending on how dirty or clean you want this to be. You go for a really horrible, gnarly, streaky type finish. Again, you can see it starting to run out on the brush. We can come up with some really gnarly, dirty effects, and it will dry back really nicely. But usual thing, don't like it, wash it off, just go again. But again, even if you used to come in here and knock pretty much all of this back, just like this, if you come in with a big old brush, when it's all still quite wet, then just like this, and then obviously you've got this one here, you can do quite nice streaking effects. And gnarly, dirty effects. And you can really work it. And you just literally, it's that thing I always say, is like layering. You're just coming in with different layers doing different things. And this is just with one colour. So by the time you come in with other colours and things like that, you can actually start in and really weather in quite heavily. So it works really well. But the nice thing about it is it's got a certain amount of grip to it. So if you're dealing with the, we were talking about before, we've got the, this is just the dust wash on the top now that's properly dried. So again, we've got, just grab a little bit of water and we can reactivate all this stuff up here. So what you want to do is just manipulate some of the areas around. You can see where this is just the dust wash, where it's gripped and it's gone around things. It's a little bit too strong. So we just want to knock that back and wear it down. So we're just going to sort of blend it around a little bit, just to take off those areas where it's just a little bit too much and too strong. And again, we can do streaking with it. We can maneuver it around, but we're trying to give it that nice, worn, perhaps dusty look. But you might notice around here it's a little bit just too strong, too much for what we want, where it's just dried naturally as it would. So we're just going to work it just a little bit around, just to give it a nice proper dusty look to it. So you're just slightly reactivating it, just moving it around. So whereas if it was oils it would naturally pull up a little bit too big, you just want to move it round. You're doing exactly the same here, but you're leaving it still pretty much all on the surface. So just to get it to work. So it's a mixture of blending and just positioning and moving around, but you're leaving the dust to pool around natural areas, recesses, clinging to high points, nuts and bolts and all of that. And that's really the nice thing to this. So again, you can give things a proper nice look to it. And again, you can use all these things together. So this is just one color. You'd come back over technically and you could do another color. You might want to put more of a shadow on first. So anyway, it's just got a little bit too much in here. We're just going to knock it back just a little bit. Take some off. And you can stipple with it and just wear marks in. If it's a little bit too much, we're just going to blend. If you get another brush, which is more of a blendy type brush, you can then, very much like Matt's doing with oils, we can blend these all together. So you've got that nice look of dust and trapped if you were going for something dusty. But again, same thing would work if we were doing it in anything that's muddy, you know, the actual environmental stuff all around it. You can just go in and do all of these. And you'll find that once it dries really natural. So as you can see down here, these are all coming back now and being a little bit stronger to what we had before, but you can probably see on the front now, these have dried properly. We've actually got the streaking and the dirt and the grime and all these different areas. And again, depending on how much you want to leave in place, how much you want to take away, you might want to wet it a little bit. Just knock it back a little bit. Just come in like this. We just wet it, rehydrate it, take it back off with a brush, wipe it off on a paper towel until you've got the right level of weathering you actually want. But most of it, again, is just that thing of blending, like I do with all my models. It's that layering of depth. This is just one colour. By the time you come in with 2 or 3 colours, you can really manipulate it and build them up. And again, building up all your layers is what's the important thing is, because with every layer gives you an extra dimension. The more dimensions you have, the more believable it is for the scale effect. And it's not too, you know, just flat and two-dimensional. I like things with plenty of layers.
Texture.
Texture, it is. It's all about texture and bringing in layers and stuff. But you get it all in there. So once you've got a good amount in there, you can just come in and you can sort of buff. And you're just going to buff it around and just give it that nasty, dusty look to it, as this one is. And again, it's just that thing of actually just getting in there sometimes. Blend in.
You have a question, Phil. Do you have a set of brushes you use just for washes?
I do. Yeah, definitely. So from my point of view, I have, as I say, I've got my brushes. You'll notice I have tape on these. Just a bit of masking tape. These are just old brushes, but I only use them for this because they've only got water on. Because the thing is, one thing that kills the wash faster than anything else is IPA. If you put IPA with the wash, it will turn to grit pretty much instantly. So if your wash has ever gone gritty, you've probably got some type of alcohol, which is in, you know, X20A and all the rest of them, on your brush. Even if it's dry, it will do it and it goes gritty. You can get it back, just add a little drop of washing up liquid or you know, dishwater soap into your water and just shake the hell out of it, and that will break the surface tension. It brings it all back together. But I like to use just certain brushes for doing this work. It's not so bad for the blending, but putting down and anything else you do, and that's why we often talk about decanting your wash into something and don't put it back, because otherwise what it is, if you contaminated your wash, it will end up going back into here and you end up with a load of grit at the bottom and water at the top. So that's the trouble with it. You just got to keep it nice and separate. The trouble is, it's a natural product, and the trouble with natural products, they don't like anything that's not natural. So yeah, but I always keep them all separate because I like to know where we are with them all. But again, once it's all in, like here at this front, we'll just blend all this together now. And you can just add tons and tons of layers. As I say, this is just one layer. Normally I would probably come in here with 2 or 3 colours, and with each one you'll get a slightly different effect to it. So again, this is all we're trying to achieve down on here, is a sort of really warm down look. We've got proper heavy dusty on the top, Over this side, we've got that sort of worn out, really dirty type of look to everything going on. Round in here, we've got a more sort of really dirty, you know, filthy look to it. So it just depends on which colour. And we've used the dark dirt here. If you was to use something like the grime, which is what's on this one, you can probably see the difference in colours. So the grime will give you a lighter earth. So think of grime like light earth, and obviously you've got this stuff, which is dark dirt on here, which is more like dark earth. And it'll give you a really proper dark earthy finish. But again, the difference being is, because this is the thick wash, it don't come off. Once it's on, this is on. Hydrate it, it will come away. But again, with this one, you can buff and blend as well. So if you wanted to come through, but it's got far more bite. And I think that's the biggest thing when people say about what's the difference between the washes. Thick wash has got proper bite. It's very, very, you know, easy to work with water, but without it, it's not going anywhere, you know, and that's really the difference with it. But again, you can literally rehydrate, drag, streak. You can grab a little bit and just streak it all around. You know, a little bit of water on these things. And to be honest, I tend to just lick the brush half the time just to get that nice effect that I'm after.
Can I just reply to James if he's still on?
Yeah.
Yes, the quiz is on this evening.
Yes.
And
Quiz night.
do you have a set of brushes you just use for your washes, Phil?
Yeah, that's what we were saying before. I do have specific ones because I don't like to use technically ones that have had IPA on. IPA literally kills the wash. So, but as I say,
And
if you like weathering, you'll love this.
How would you represent the green drips of moss, etc., green streaks on a plane, for example?
Nice one. You'd normally use this, but unfortunately it's not available. But we have got, if we did play with a green wash that you do this with, but unfortunately it's too expensive to manufacture the green wash. In fact, it's difficult. It's not just the cost, it's down to them being able to produce it. But again, it's one of those things. But again, pigments will probably be your easiest way. A little bit of acrylic paint, a little bit of that as well. That'll work quite well. You can go through. But if you want something filthy, that's what you want to do. Filthy dog. So, but yeah, pretty much it. Don't forget, it is on special, 25% off. So it's £25 plus that, I think it is, for a full set, which is obviously the 8 washes right the way through. The dust wash is currently a separate, it's not available in the sets. So, but yes, there we go.
Look what you could have had.
Yeah, look what you could have had. As I said on this morning's show, the trouble is with the dark one, the green one, the cost of the pigment and even getting hold of it, it's not even so much to do with cost. I said to the manufacturer, we wanted X number of kilos of this stuff, and they turned around and said, kilos? You're hard to find it in grams. It's because they don't do kilos because of it. The cost of it and everything else is literally to the point where they don't sell kilos of it, and I need kilos of it to do what we do. And they were like, we couldn't even get kilos if you wanted it. Yeah. So I knew that's immediately where there's a stumbling block. So I did go back to them and said, how long is it? Even if with a long lead time, how long would it be? And they came back and said, we cannot do it in kilos. And to be honest, we can't do the wash in a limited run. So that's the trouble we have with it.
A lot of companies do those sort of colours. I mean, like that's a K1, which is
No, hold on. Where are you? There you go.
That
the decay one.
K1. Yeah. So that's got like moss and I think most of the main manufacturers of Vallejo do it as well.
As we said before, John, the trouble we have with green pigment, only a couple of mines in the world produce real green pigment. You can buy synthetic stuff, but it doesn't work with the wash. The clay needs to work with a real proper one, because the trouble is synthetic pigments are technically paint, and they don't work with the wash, as in the clay. If you imagine the clay is a natural product, its particle size and the way it is suspended in water works a certain way, and it's a very tight window for it to do. If we made a cheap synthetic wash that wasn't water-based and everything else, then yeah, you could do any colour of the rainbow in theory, because all it'd be is thin paint. But because it is clay that's in it, we have to work with the clay. And literally, there's only 3 mines in the world, as far as I know, that produce green pigment, proper green pigment. And it's really expensive. So, as we said in the morning, it was more like shellac, beetle hair, fur, and all the rest of it. So, yes, very, very difficult to deal with it. But if you've ever worked with the wash, just to say, if you've ever done anything with the wash before, you'll know. There we go, can go that one. You'll know how easy it is to use the wash. Just think of the thick wash as just being the thicker, stronger version of it. You know, so imagine it if you wanted to, like MRP paint is like thinned paint ready to use. That's technically the wash. If you wanted to do stronger jobs with it and you want it thicker and biter and heavier type, then go with a thick one. I said before, the wash, the way it works really is the way I sort of marketed it, is that the thick stuff is really designed for the armour guys, dioramas, the railroad guys and stuff like that, because it is absolutely perfect for it. You can of course use it as a normal wash, but to be honest, there's no capillary action to it. And if you're going into tight panel lines as you do on an aircraft, you want it to flow and you want it to get in amongst everything. The thick wash is like whack. Think of it like thick mud sitting down in there. So that's the difference really. You
can use you can get green oil paints that are easier to use than say enamels and whatever. Yeah.
To be honest, that's what I was going to suggest. If you're doing, I've got some here. If you were doing, where's my green? Which one's that? That's a greeny colour. I'm looking for the greeny, proper greens. You know, obviously the Abteilung ones we've got here. Literally, I've got this one, which is a really dark green as well. You've got here, faded green. And then this one, I think, is Starship Filth, which is a greeny grey colour. It's quite nice. And again, you can just do a spot of, if I show you, hold on, if I can get the end off. If I show you on something here. So if we pick this front area, all right, and then we get a tiny little brush. All right, so what you can actually do is, this is probably still a little bit too big. Let me find a smaller brush. Look, this one's almost got hairs in the same direction. Hold on, we're going to need magnifiers here and everything for this. Hold on, let me go. Hold on, make it bigger. There we go. So with these ones, what you can do is you can literally put in little tiny blobs, just like this, on like these bolt heads, as I'm doing here. Sorry if my head's in the way, I will move it. All right, so you can put these in like this. All right, then once these are in, you can then just grab a brush, or you could use a cotton bud or whatever, and then streak them down. And you can actually then, let me get these to go. And this is how I do my streaking techniques. You can drag these down and cause, you know, oil stains and spills and all this. To be honest, this one's a slightly darker colour, but you can do these down. And then again, if you get a cotton bud, you can sharpen up and again, this is where the wash works really well with oils, because the oils are now absorbing all the clay that's on the surface, and it gives you a really nice palette to work on, because the oils just seem to work.
Was that Starship Filth, Phil?
That was Starship Filth. I'm going to try it with the green. Hold on, let me get this off. So this is proper green. This is really dark green, but again, if we do this one here.
What is that green called, Phil? I don't think we.
This is faded green. This is ADBTDBD 150040.
We do sell it.
Do we have that one in our repertoire?
We should have.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me grab some of these. So if we put some down in here,
I think it's next to olive green on the rack.
Oh, sorry. Is it? Yeah, got it. Yeah, faded green. Yeah, faded green, olive green. Yeah, faded green, olive green, and green grass. But Matt shows it on what he's doing now. You can mix your oils, and yeah, you'd have to just go with one colour. You can mix them to make the colour you like.
So here's your greeny, slimy stuff. And again, you can rub this back a little bit, just to take it back a little bit, so it's not quite as strong. There we go. If you wanted to do some greeny, yucky stuff, and again. And again, you can thin them out a little bit to do other types of streaking and bits and pieces with it all. So again, I just say it's like a, think of it like a layering process. It's nothing's a one and done when it comes to oils and stuff like that. You've got a situation where you're literally building up all these different layers. So you come in with one colour, and then sometimes you need another following colour to really make it work, and pop and go, to actually the type of feel that you want and the colour you want. And like Matt says, mixing your colours. So if you found that was a little bit too strong green, you can mix it with this one, which is like a grey green, and mix the two together. Which is something I've only really been doing with oils for the last, year really. And they do work really, really well to mix the colours to give you the type of shade or the hue that you actually want. So a little bit like I do with the washes. I might put the washes on and think, yeah, it's a bit strong, it's a bit So then we'll come back and we'll literally just play with it, mix out the colour, put it over the top, and I might be, look, I'm more happy with that one. That looks a lot better.
Yeah. And I think they're definitely more forgiving and easier to use than enamels. Because if it goes wrong, you can just wipe it off, can't you?
Yeah. Definitely. So yes, good job. Anyway, how are we all doing? How's Brett? What's Brett got in front of him? Is that the body?
Yeah, it's the diorama that I'm building, and the
oh right, okie dokie.
Wheels will go on there, and and these tracks in the road base comes with the kit.
Right, got you.
Then I'm doing I want to do a desolate snow scene because I have experience with that.
Well, I was going to say you've got quite good references. You only got to look out the window.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I got to keep watching Matt so I can learn how to paint my figures correctly. They're going to be all gathered around a fire. So yeah, this is the size of the tracks and everything. How big it is.
Yeah.
So if you build it, make sure you have space.
It is. That's the trouble with these bigger kits. You do need the space to put them all, which is normally in very short supply for everybody. Cool. Good job. Speaking of which, how's the... there we go. Look.
Looking good, isn't it? Looks less of a meth junkie now than...
Yeah, that's it. He's definitely in rehab. Somebody asked me one of the questions. Are you going to do hair for him, or is he just going to be follically challenged?
He's follically challenged.
Right.
What I might try to do though, which you can do with like a bluey grey colour, is stubble. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you can do. I think we've discussed this before. We know, like proper portrait painters, it goes from like cold at the bottom, to warm, and then to yellow at the top. I think if that's the way I remember it, it's in the FAQ book. If you've got the figure book, how actual proper portrait artists work. So, but obviously you can like stipple on, so you can, he looks like he's got a shaved head. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm sculpting here, which is, But what I want to do is, I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to have to leave it because I'm obviously laying out oils and they do take time to dry, which is the downside to obviously using acrylics, because you just end up blending and then you end up with nothing. So it does need to dry off. But I just want to add a bit of like red tones, a bit of blood flow to him, a bit of colour. Yeah. I've done a bit on the cheek and I've just kind of sketched in his lips a little bit, a bit round in his nose and under his eyes and stuff. Obviously I need to paint his... To be honest with you, once you paint the actual iris, that's when it obviously changes the figure a bit, because then you've got a focal point, because obviously that's, as a natural human, you just look at the eyes, don't you? Yeah.
It depends on you looking at. But
well, all right, okay, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Well, the shading looks great.
Yeah.
But for what I've been doing it, an hour and about an hour, is it, or something? That's not too bad, to be honest. But loads of work done yet. This is just sort of layering and layering.
It looks really good.
No, it does. It looks really, really good. It's well, like we said before, the trouble with figure painting, people say, "Oh, can you show us?" It's not something you can show in 2 minutes.
No.
It's one of those things. You're building up all those layers, and it takes time to do it.
It's just drying times as well. So you can work a bit quicker with acrylics, but you can't blend them as well, and that's why I like using now the oils for skin tones, especially this size. You can it just smooths it all in, and you don't get harsh transitions and everything. But I think we've got He's a bit tanned on the front compared to his back, but that's all right. I don't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really, really, I've mentioned before, artistic, you can do with like light sources, so you can come in and shadow one side and the other, and which again, something like this is probably worth me trying at some point. Say it's kind of a disposable sort of bust, I suppose, where it's good for practicing and not you've bought an expensive, ready-made one, and then not that you're ever going to knacker it up, but you know what I mean. It can get disheartening, I think.
And you've got the file, haven't you? So you can just
just print it off and keep doing it. Like I say, whatever really colour you want. So it's all right. I think it's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I say, it's a good sculpt. It's a good sculpt because there's a lot going on with it. So it's quite straightforward, really, to pick out the shadows and highlights. Like I said, it's quite an easy thing to do. But we're getting there with it.
Josh has just asked what's on my bench right now.
Oof. It's that stealthy, you can't see it.
Apart from some kitchen roll.
The Invisa Spitfire.
I'm building that at the moment just as a mojo build, which I started on... When did we start that? Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
And the cockpit's all ready together, so you need to spray it. But because I've been sorting my room out, I didn't have my spray booth to go, which I've just sorted out this morning, so I can actually, spray the interior bits. So once I've done that, then it'll be finishing off my Spitfire, the 32nd Spitfire that I was doing.
And it's quiz night.
Yeah, and Neil's made a very good point. Has Phil been around the photos yet on Instagram?
I've got it. Literally, it's sat here ready. I was waiting to do it after you guys had done your thing. So what we'll do now is we'll pop off and have a look at some of your great work around the old Instagram look. So to start off with, I thought this was amazing. Tom did this one.
That's cool.
It's a 1-to-1 scale X-Wing. So, yes. Very nice.
I'd like that in my living room on the ceiling. I'm sure the
Not a
light would be
proper
off.
one though, is it? It's not an X65, is it? It's one of those newfangled Republic ones.
It isn't it?
It's got half an X-Wing system onto it. But yes, very, very nice indeed. Sorry, went that one. Let's go another one this way. Anyway, Tom's done that really nice job on the Prowler that we saw earlier. Very good job as well. It's the old school Airfix kit.
So is that the old monogram kit, or is that an Airfix kit? Because I can remember the boxing of that and everything. Yeah. But actually, is it their kit, or is that the monogram one? Because not many people's done a Prowler. Obviously, the Kinetic one. Have Kinetic done a Prowler? They haven't.
Yes. Yeah.
That's like well after this. So is it a Reeboks or?
That is.
To be honest, I didn't know if it was or not. I always assumed it was the monogram kit, and I've built the monogram kit.
No, that is an Airfix kit from 1982.
It's a proper Airfix kit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder how that stacks up to the monogram one then.
I don't know.
I don't know myself, I must admit. I'm intrigued.
We'll have to
nice
get one,
Tom. Yeah, we'll have to get one. I might have to go on a hunt for that.
48th, 48th, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Again, that's a no for the time and stuff. That's an odd release, isn't it? A Prowler.
So I take it that was an 80s one, was it? Out in the 80s? Because that's when the Prowler came in.
82.
So,
well, I never knew that was a proper Airfix kit. I thought, like I say, it's a Reeboks or something.
That's the original box art. That's the original box art of it as well.
Wow. That's a cracking build anyway. Well done with that.
Yeah, no, I must admit, I love it in the desert colours. There's something, just very nice about that. So, yes, good job. Very nice job. Right, okay, next over, we saw this one, because this is obviously one of the guys on the forum. And it was on the Friday afternoon gallery section. Very nice job indeed, that, with the old T-Rex.
Yeah, it does
really nice.
Good job.
Cool.
Very nice A-Wing. I assume this is the 72nd one. Very nice indeed. So yeah, cool job on that one. We've got the Snow Speeder. Very, very nice indeed. Nice chipping and weathering and all the rest of it.
Are these the Bandai kits, I take it, are they?
I assume so. I think this gun's had a bit of a hit. Look, it's pulled out slightly. He's knocking back in. So perhaps battle damage.
Battle damage. Snow Speeder.
He's knocked a walker as he was trying to whiz round it. So, but yeah, funny enough, I've got mine set over there. I need to paint still. It's just built. It just needs painting. Very nice. 48 scale Armour Hobbies Hurricane. Looking very nice in the old Trotsky.
Good kit.
Very nice kit. Very nice indeed.
So you got
Good
Arm
job.
Hobbies over there, Brett?
We do. I got the Trop kit just 3 days ago.
Oh, right, cool, good,
There we go.
good.
Nice. Good job. Haskell's 72nd scale B17J. Very nice.
There's some
as well.
bits missing off that.
I think there may be a wing missing. Or two.
Yeah, don't need wings. Overrated.
Yeah. So yes, very nice job as well. We've got down in here, I think we've got a couple of these down in here. So this is the 48 scale de Havilland Chipmunk.
That
From
the
Mark.
Airfix one, I presume, is it?
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking nice in the old camo scheme, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice with the camo.
Very retro.
Very nice indeed. Good job there. Beautiful F-16. So
Cool
this is
scheme,
Tammy's
yeah.
48 scale aggressor. So yes, I just can't remember the designation. They gave more names, wasn't it? Was this Lizard? Was Lizard with the green? I don't know if Lizard had the green, but they all had different names, didn't they? So, but yes, very nice with that one, with the tri-camo. Very good. Beautiful kit. We've also got, oh look, it's, what do you call it? A CR42, that's the thing.
It is.
So this
Is
is the
that-
32nd scale ICM kit.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So, but
Looking
yes.
nice. But that was fun to spray.
Yeah, I must admit, doing the old Motley stuff like that, big old
Yeah.
swatches. Very nice indeed. Oh look, there we go. There's another one without the dramatic lighting this time. So yes.
Although Jeff Goldblum is about to be
Yeah,
chased.
that's it. He don't lose his hand. Lose his arm up to the elbow, I think, with that one.
Yeah.
Down in there. There we go. We've got a very nice Rafale. 72nd Hobby Boss one, obviously the tiger meat markings.
Nice.
With the eye of the tiger.
Yes.
The eye of the tiger. No, I won't try it. What else we got? This is the Edward or Jeff 148 scale with AK and SMS and AK paints as well. So the Tempest.
It's nice
Good
finish,
kit.
isn't it?
Good kit, that.
It is a really nice kit, that one. I do like that one. Very nice indeed. We've got a Hawker Hurricane Airfix 148 scale one as well. Again, SMS and AK paints.
Isn't
Very
it funny
nice. Nice
how
with the backdrop.
hurricanes have become very popular?
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't see them,
Yeah.
couldn't buy one, couldn't find one. Now they're everywhere. So everyone, that's it. Showing the Hurricane some love. Oh, there we go. Look, I'm in the background as well. There we go. What we got? An FGR1, or was that an FGR2? Can't remember now. With a square tail on the back. That must be a 2. FGR2 Phantom as well, with the old Spey engined RAF one. Very nice indeed. Starting to be deckled up. Very nice.
Old bottle
Oh my,
foil,
look,
so-
look, an S&M models. Because
Oh,
Viscount.
nice.
I used to like the
Not too many
biscuit,
of
the
them.
Viscount biscuit. Yeah. Wow.
The
That's
mint
what's
one or the
amazing.
orange one?
Oh no, the mint one. Definitely the mint one. The orange one was all right, but the mint one was the best one. Do they still make them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
To know.
we do.
Do they?
Cool. Anyway, so there we go. A nice Eagle Airways one. I tell you what, you don't see many of them built.
No.
And unfortunately, Mr. S&M, he's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah,
He
this
passed
is
away, didn't he, a
fast.
few
Yeah.
years ago, unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, he passed a few years ago, so I don't know if that kit would ever be available, if they sold the tooling and the moulds, or what happened, unfortunately. So yeah, quite sad with that one. Was always a thing though, wasn't it, when you put in the internet for S&M models?
Yeah, it was.
Anyway.
It brought up something else, didn't it?
Yeah, make sure your safe search is on for that one. It's not work safe. Right, we've got literally 5. What's that going to be then? Octuplets of, is it 5? What's 5 of things called?
Quinn sing.
Is it
Quinn?
Is it quins?
Duplets.
Quins? Because it'd be quads, wouldn't it? Or I don't know, actually, I've lost now.
Lots
Shout
of.
up in live chat. Lots of 72nd Tonkers. In all the markings well. We've got the nice Tiger scheme ones, got the retirement schemes ones as well. Very nice. Very cool. On a very nice display stand. Well done, Tom. Hope you're doing well, Tom. I haven't heard from you for years. Bless you. There we go. Something a little bit different. A 187th scale card kit lighthouse
That's cool, isn't it?
from Railway Miniatures. That's cool, isn't it? I like
Different.
the old card kits. Yeah, definitely. And I must admit, you look at that, you'd never think that made a card.
Phil likes the old card kits that aren't on fire.
Hush now. We won't talk about my one attempt at a card kit that went horrendously wrong. Yeah. This is the old 48 scale Mistel with the bomber,
Cool.
with the flying missile with the 190 on the rooflet. Very nice.
And we were saying a AT111 with a V1 string.
V1 on it last night we were discussing. That's it.
Mistel's
To be honest, at least with this one, he's flying in a plane. You can just get rid of it and run. The bit with having a V1 stuck underneath you.
That's still a big bang if it went off while you've still got it.
Back to Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, but this thing won't take off and take you with it, though, will it? It's just going to be stuck to it. So, yes, definitely. And again, very nice. This is the Revel. Oh, this is the 29 scale one. This is the biggie. So, yes, I must admit, I would like to have redone mine, but unfortunately it went with members of staff that took it. So, yes. Very nice indeed.
Re-release that kit.
Yeah.
It is actually. Considering its scale, and it is a big old lump, that thing, you can do so much with it. And it's not bad. Accuracy-wise and everything else like that, it's not a bad kit. Especially when you look at, consider the price of it and all the rest of it. So, really, really nice work. Good job. Well done, everybody, on this one. Oh, look, is that a couple there done as well? So we've got an FGR2 again with a 262. Again, this is the the Revel 172nd ME262A1 down in there, and the Revel's Reeboks of the Hasegawa kit, if you're wondering, for the FGR2
with Revel
very
paints.
nice indeed. With Revel paints. Yeah, look at that. That's a proper modelling bench. Look at that. None of this tidy cardboard on the bottom and the stuff.
Yeah.
That
Modelling on
cutting
a
mat
postage
that's got
stamp.
history. Patina, weren't we saying on the beginning of this morning show?
Patina. Hey,
It's got patina.
It's a barn find.
The barn find, that's it. It's got patina though.
Worth a fortune.
Definitely. So yes, there we go. Oh, we got a couple more in here that have come in since I started. Hold on, what have we got? Oh, look, one of those horrible planes. So we got F-14.
That's the Macross, isn't it?
No, it's definitely an F-14.
It's definitely F14.
Very nice indeed. We've also got now. Oh, what is that? Wow, it's a paddle steamer. Speedboat. Yeah. So we've got a cardboard challenge going on here as well. So yeah, it's all this stuff on that. Wow, that's quite something. Crikey, that's proper modelling, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. To be honest, you've got a lot more patience than I've got. I don't think I could handle that. That's like a whole new level of skill set, So, very, very nice. So if you're into cardboard stuff, look, that's your man. Oh, look, it's a, what do we call it? A Meteor. Yes, the long nose version. It's the NF11.
Whose kit's that?
Aeroclub.
The
That's
sword.
Backform. That's Backform. Backform, shout out.
It's an Aero Club one, yeah. Jesus,
Yay,
that's the
Backform.
Backform one. That's it. Points for Backform.
Looks all right as well, doesn't it?
It does actually. Looks all right, doesn't it? Cool.
Yeah. Well done.
See, there we go. Somebody build a Backform, just so I can say I don't have to do it. Then last up, we've got the more decals going on the old FGR2. There we go. Very nice indeed. Coming along very nicely. Oh, look, extra acrylic paints.
Yeah.
Put it all down in there, isn't it?
Future's
Yeah,
acrylic.
good. We're all going to end up going. Going to be water-based stuff. So don't forget, if you do want to put anything up, literally just tag us in at Official Flory Models, and you can then just tag us in and you'll appear in this listing, and we'd love to show your work. So yes, you can come along and join on and put your bits and pieces up in there. Let me just check the forum, because I don't know if the guys have been placing in there as well. Let me just pop in. For people wondering in the forum, what I'll do is I'll start a new page for tomorrow. So that's it. Oh look, Adam's found a Matchbox kit that I'm happy with, and it was a bargain at just 25p. So yeah,
Well done.
And it's the extra long variety. Just saying.
You build a boat out of it.
That's it. You could be scratch building out of that, are you?
Yeah. The Eiffel Tower.
Hello Phil, checking out the Airfix 1/stroke 25th scale general. The general, what? The Airfix 1/25th scale, the general. What's that? I was going to build it in natural iron and heavily used.
It's an old train from the Wild West. It's got the big cattle.
Oh, it's got the big cattle for bull bar on the front.
Yeah.
With a big stack. Got you.
Yeah. God, I remember that from when I was a kid.
Mm.
Proper steam engine thing.
Yeah, the real thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Steve says, keep the balance of waffle and building. It works great. Love both aspects. Great skill and with a laugh. What's not to like? You need to waffle in your life. This is it, you see. We need lots of waffling. Alan says, hi Phil, enjoying the first half. Only problem is YouTube loading, poor picture quality. Having to swap between TV and tablet. It's probably because it's live and things don't live. We are using a slightly... you're getting this in real time. Normally there's a delay and the system works on it. But the trouble we have with that is when we end the stream, sometimes it cuts off the end of the stream. So that's why we did it on this one. So, but yes. So yeah, and that's the other questions. We're all up to date. I think we're all good. We're all sorted.
That's it then. That's
so
the afternoon.
Can we just have a quick look round PM Store before we go again?
Oh, look, he's trying to get his advertising in. So, okay, over on the PM Store, we have, don't forget, 15% off all kits.
The amount of money we pay for sponsoring the show.
Yes, that's it, which we do need to talk about this. Seriously, I'm going to look for a sponsor that pays. So anyway, unfortunately, all the longbows have gone now. So have all the Vikings. They've completely sold out. We've still got some Wessexes, and we've still got some of the Great Wall Hobbies F14Bs. We've also got some of the very limited edition Leopard 2A6. Obviously, the Ukrainian special, which comes with the crew as well. Obviously, we got, don't forget, this is like 30% off, isn't we doing it for? The Great Wall Hobbies. Off, yeah, 30% off the SU27. So if you want to grab that one, seriously, do it now. Because obviously in a couple of hours, that'll be flipped over to something new. And obviously we've got the Ryefield, we've got that Sheridan down there. And obviously we've got that gorgeous F4G. And obviously we've got the F18F as well, the two-seater. So if you want to grab any of those, do them. Because when are you going to change them over, guys?
Probably...
5 to 7.
Yeah, probably. Literally, we'll be sat here going, you done it yet? No. So, yes. So, grab those. Seriously, guys, they are going to change and they will not be at that price again. So, if you do fancy one of those, it's basically 25% or more off of all of this lot down in here. All right. So, if you want to grab yourself a bargain, do it now before it changes. Don't forget our very own Brett, who's joined us this afternoon. You can pop over to High Altitude Hobbies. That's highaltitudehobbies.com. All one word, all lowercase as well. And you can grab any of the bits and pieces from Brett over in the States. He obviously does things like outlaw paints, judging by the size of that. Border model stuff, all the bits and pieces as well. But don't forget, if you don't see it on his website, shoot him a message and I'm sure he'll be able to sort you out with all the bits and pieces down in there. Serious models, obviously, if you're inside the EU and you don't want the hassle of tax and import duties and all the rest of it, you can get all your Flory bits and pieces down in there. Plus the fact they sell absolutely everything else as well. They do all your paints, glues, sundries, all your kits and everything else if you are down in there. So there you go. If you're inside the EU, that's really where you want to get all your stuff. And then last of all, hold on, I've moved my thing now. I need to go into store. You get 25% off all the Flory models range as well. So that includes full sets of the thick washes, full sets of the thin washes, the normal washes, plus the fact your bottles, your bits and pieces. We've got your pigments, all of this stuff down in there. And again, we've got your mouse mats, we've got your polo shirts, we've also got all your t-shirts as well, got your aprons, your hoodies, and unfortunately we're now out of stock of the 3D printed stuff. So we have got some nozzles left though. We've got 4 sets of Harrier nozzles left. So if you want to grab those from the 3D printed range, we can do as well. So as I said, next week, once we get past all the backlog of all of this, I will pop over and sort it. Obviously, the lovely Kareem was on earlier. She's in the chat. I don't know if she's still in there, but your display stuff is all coming back in stock tonight. So if you do want to get all your display stuff over from Braveco, just go to bravecomodeling.nl, all one word. Just Google it, it's there at the top, and you can get all your display stuff as well from them. So say if you want any of the tools and the bits and pieces I've been talking about recently, they've got a full restock coming in with themselves very shortly. Plus the fact all your other bits and pieces, they do other things down in there as well. So you can get those, including rollers. I had some paint rollers off of them. They're pretty cool, I must admit. Who knew? Mini rollers, but they are their future. And don't forget, they do butts, wherever the butts are. What's the butts now? There you go, look, butts. For people who don't know what butts are, go back and watch one of our shows. I'll get them out for tonight because they're quite funny. But they do male and female. I'm just saying, and I'm not making it up either. But yeah, I don't know. I'd love to get to Spey on one day and ask him, how the hell did you come up with that one? So, well, it was a late homage to the late Queen, was it? Okay. So,
can I just say, it won't be our butts we'll be getting out.
no, we're not getting ours, and Andy would need a shave first. He would need a back sack and crack. With, I don't know, a works kit or Ryobi set for that. Good job. Right, okay, massive thank you obviously for Brett for joining us this afternoon. Hope you enjoyed yourself, Brett. We'll get you on again very, very soon as well. Don't forget you get all your bits and pieces over from Brett, and you can follow him on his YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel called, Brett?
High altitude scale modeling.
Simple as that. Easy, isn't
Simple
it?
as that.
That's what we need, a catchy title. This Flory Models thing just isn't working for us. So definitely. Should have called us something else.
Just in YouTube chat, Bradley says could watch a couple more hours easily, which is handy because...
Yes, we will be back. At 7:30 tonight, we're going to be back with you. John should be on by then. He should have finished work. So he'll be on with us as well. We've obviously got a quiz night. There's not any of this lot. We're not flogging. Well, we will be flogging stuff, but not as heavy with you. But obviously, we'll be on tonight. It's basically the chilled evening. So grab yourself some drinks, some snacks. It's going to be on for about an hour and a half, and you can join us till then. If not, we will be back with you and doing this all again tomorrow. So we've got some more demos coming up with you. But the big thing is, obviously, we've got Peramjit from Airfix. He is going to be with us from 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon as our special guest. And he's going to be doing a presentation about how he does his work, how he designs his kits, how he comes up with the ideas of them, so forth and so on as well. If you've seen him before, you'll know he's an absolute brilliant guy. And he's really easy to talk to as well. So if you want to join us for that, if you've got any questions, preload them over to us. And I'll make sure he gets them so he can get the information to you as best as he can. Usual thing, do not ask him what he's working on and what's coming out next week, because he won't tell you. I can tell you that right now. So yes, good job.
We've already tried.
Yes, we've tried. And we're under NDAs, for Christ's sake, and we don't even know. That's my problem. If I'm under an NDA, what difference does it matter? But apparently still won't tell us. Anyway, we will leave it right there, guys. So very much thank you massively, obviously, for Brett for joining us as well, as always. As I say, go and show him some love over on the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, bell thing, whatever you do, isn't it? So we can do all of that one. No problem at all, mate. You're welcome anytime. You know that. And as I say, next time we get you on, we'll do some proper building as well. So cool job. Right, we will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Go off, have a peruse, have a look around the stores, see if you can get yourself some bargains. If not, we will see you back here at 7:30 tonight. So till later, everybody. Happy modelling. Say goodbye, gentlemen. Right here.
Bye.